Thrak, I love that your title is coming and going.
Well, you asked me about the come and go gas station, so that's all I'm thinking about now.
Wait, that's an actual thing?
Yeah, down here in Iowa,
K-U-M.
There's a whole chain of gas stations called Come. They have Come and Go in Oklahoma?
Yeah. Is that not everywhere? I thought they had Come and Go in fucking Africa. There's not one.
I'm in Ohio. It's not in Ohio. So.
Do you all also call it like sperm and split and ejaculate and ejaculate and evacuate and like blow a load, blow a tire? I've got like 80 of those in my.
I'm gonna go jog to come, and then we just ignore the rest of it.
What else is there? Sperm and split, ejaculate and evacuate, blow a load and blow a tire. I think that's it, actually.
That one doesn't work as much.
Yeah,
that's too much words. Too many words.
Yeah. Blow a load and go on home. I don't know. So I fucking rhyme at least a little bit.
It's just some post-nut clarity. That's all.
What to do, everybody? My name is Aaron. Much like a table at Chili's, I'm unstable, and you're listening to Super Pod Saga. Jerry's got back issue. Yeah, so listeners, Jerry, his back hurts. I don't know what the fuck he did, if it was from the renovations or
who
from
blew Jerry's back out. You know, what's going on?
I'm sorry,
probably that come and go fella.
Yeah, it was all the come and go.
Investigative journalism. We need to find this out. Get those
where's Tommy at? He'll know all about that. Cite your sources, as Tommy would say.
That's a perfect Tommy impression. It was like he was here.
It's almost like
we're in his car.
Him.
We're in his car right now.
I took a picture with that car. It's pretty sweet, man.
It was.
Speaking of Tommy, I saw that you posted on your Twitter earlier today, and it was against all odds, against the universe trying to keep him from it. He's finally obtained a Steam Deck. What is he going to do? What is he going to do on that now? What is it? He doesn't play modern games, does he?
He's going to play MVP Baseball 2005 on it. That's all he's going to do.
Yeah, he's just going to play some fucking like spreadsheet sports simulator game. He is playing Octopath Traveler 2 though, and he really likes that, which is
nice.
That's a good one.
What else is he playing?
Terrible handheld game though.
Oh, he's also playing Metroid Fusion, but he got an Android.
Yeah,
he's playing it on that too.
Love that game.
He's getting real fancy.
Yeah, he is. He's very fancy. For any first-time listeners, this is it. This is the show. Hey, this is the podcast where we talk about a different video game topic each week with different guests. And goddamn it, do we have a shit ton of them? We've got 4 guests, but it's awesome. Let's start with the faces that people know already. Hello, Nave. You've been on here about 20 times so far. How's it going, man?
Or Nave or Dark Aaron. I almost just co-opted your whole entire existence. I was gunning for your spot last week whenever you were looking for recording, right? On Tuesday, on Twitter, whatever the fuck it's called.
I think so. I forget already, man.
Dude, and then things go by fast.
Then we also have this one coming up on Sunday for Cassette Beasts. Yeah.
Yes. Dude, I'm gonna be recording with Play Along for something else, and then right after that, jumping into Cassette Beast. I want to do. You know what I want to do? I want to have a 7 day in a row. I guest on somebody's podcast every single day. I don't get to do anything for myself.
How are you gonna eat? Is this
like one whole day,
like a McDonald's binge for 7 days?
Yeah, Uber Eats. I'm gonna Uber Eats ramen.
God.
Is that a Bud Light Platinum on your desk? What is that blue bottle?
No, this is okay. Hold on.
Oh, I see. This is spray.
This is
This is hairspray.
Aussie Kids Moist Detangler. Because, dude, my girlfriend won't stop brushing my hair because I won't do it myself, and I'm about to break up with her over it. But I'm such a little bitch because my head is so tender that she bought Kids Detangler, and it just sits on my desk because this is the only place that she can, when I'm editing the podcast, that she can brush my hair.
So wait, when you edit podcasts, you just have someone sitting behind you brushing your hair?
That's
the most luxurious thing I've ever heard. That's incredible.
God, that sounds awesome.
She is a saint.
Speaking of saints, hello, Thrak. Welcome back once more.
Hello, hi. How are you, Aaron? We were just doing 3DO the other day, I think. But yeah, you called an audible because I was like, all right, I'm going to relax tonight, not do shit. And you're like, dude, we got to do a podcast. I'm like, oh, what are we doing? He's like, sequels. I'm like, okay, I'm in. So
Sequel.
here I am. I'm here to talk about numbers after games. So
Exactly.
I'll come over here and talk
I may
about,
or may not be playing Power Wash the entire time.
Aaron could get us all on here to talk about like butt plug size, and we'll fucking I'll figure it out. I don't know what the hell it is.
I'll text Nave. Butts. Plug them.
Butt tier list.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
There we go. Yeah, I'll call in some favors.
Ooh, yeah. This and we've got two returning faces, but it's been a hot minute. Hello, Troy. It's been. I think it was best launch titles. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's right. I actually was trying to remember what I was on here for before, and then forgot to just check because it would have been really easy to look it up. But I didn't. But yeah, that's what it was. It was launch titles. I was thinking it was Game Boy Advance, but I did that with Play Along recently. That's why I was tripped up.
Nice.
And then we were right. We were gonna do Game Boy Advance because I just started for Play Along. I remember things that happened more than 12 minutes ago. Yeah. Hi. This is so chaotic. I love it.
I know, dude. It's so great. Yeah, we were supposed to do Game Boy Advance today, but then Jerry's like, "No, it's retro. Save it for the retro show." And I was like, "All right, well, let's do something else." And then
sequels was the other one that jumped out at me because sequels is an interesting topic.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. We talked. I think we had Bill on. Like Tommy and I talked with Bill about sequels. I think that was one of our first episodes of Super
I think
Pod
it was
Saga.
like 31.
That
I want to
sounds.
say.
Is that when Bill died?
I think so. Where he died at
Rip
the end.
Neil.
I'm pretty sure. Rip
Dude,
Neil.
I am fucking.
No
I don't know
meal
what's
for
going on.
O'Neal.
I'm like shifting through like 20 different accents throughout all. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man.
That's all good. I do it all the fucking time. Will. Also returning is Nick from the antagonist episode. Hello, Nick.
What's going on?
You're on the
Aaron?
air.
It's been a hot minute since that antagonist episode, but like I'm still trying to remember who we talked about then. But regardless, I remember that was a really, really fun one. So, and also I got Kirby with me. I got our boy, hanging out with me for the podcast here. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm locked in. I'm loaded today, and I'm here to antagonize Nave.
Hey, you probably talked about that bastard Dark Aaron.
Dark Aaron.
It's very easy to do.
Oh yeah, there we go. I've got the whole. Sorry, I was looking at the antagonist episode, looking at the timestamps, and I saw SAX, and I was like, when did we talk about sex?
Sax.
Yeah, sax.
Those goddamn saxophones.
I think I talked about Lady Rhea from Fire Emblem Three Houses and how much of a badass she was.
And there was like 5 Star Wars characters, and I was lost. I was like, that's not Darth Maul.
You're just gone.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, man. That was a good one. Glad you guys are all here today. We're going to talk about the best sequels or our favorite sequels or however the hell we're going to word this. What? I don't know who should go first, honestly. Should we flip coin or should we just like It's Always Sunny this fucker and just like see who can yell the loudest?
Play the penis game.
Yeah, let's measure dicks. Biggest first, then smallest, then second biggest, then still we gotta shake it up.
It's gotta
really
be like mid, no like chub, not full chub, not like Lil Chub, but like just right in the middle too.
Yeah, just go and take a lukewarm shower for a couple of seconds.
I zoned out for a second because my kid came in to ask me a question, and I just like paid back attention, and I have no idea how we got here at all.
This podcast requires 100% attention.
Yeah, speaking of
we
attention,
moved too fast.
I totally fucking forgot. Yeah, so listeners, Super Pod Saga. Check out superpodnetwork.com. Nave's there, Nick's there, Thrak's there. Troy's not, unfortunately, but he could be, maybe, who knows. But superpodnetwork.com, all sorts of cool shit there. Support me, Hamburger Help Me on Patreon for $2 or $4 a month. let's fucking start the show. Troy, you can do the first one.
I'm delighted to go first, Aaron, because I'm going to steal one that I know you're going to talk about because I saw it on your hand. You have it literally on your body, and I'm going to say Majora's Mask.
Damn it!
Because it is one of the few Zelda games that is a true sequel.
Wait, hold on a second. Are you saying that Aaron writes all of his lists out on his hand?
No,
This
he has a tattoo of Majora's Mask on the back of his hand.
I also have a worm cowboy on my finger.
Dude, that worm cowboy's so cute.
Yeah,
What game's
look
he
at
from?
I'm going to steal Worm 2 from him.
There's a tattoo shop in town, and they do flash tattoos for $20, and I was like, give me a fucking cowboy worm.
I still have no tattoos. One of these
Dude!
days.
Oh my god, hold on, wait, now have you seen the Boogie 2988 shit? I can't stop.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yes.
He tattooed
Unfortunately.
liar on his
Liar
face.
on his face.
He tattooed what?
He
Liar.
tattooed liar on his face live on the show.
Because
Adam
he lied
tattooed
about
him.
having cancer.
Whoa.
And he has his own
He's the
podcast. Like,
I
he
have
has
no
his
idea
own-
who you're talking about, but
I just
Oh,
You
this is
He's
a
just a
rabbit hole
terrible
we're not
person.
going down.
Yeah, he's just a terrible person. It's yeah.
okay. Majora's Mask is not a terrible game. It's a
My
great
fault.
game.
It's
awesome.
fine. It's fine.
It is probably my favorite Zelda game. Like, not the best necessarily, but my personal favorite. Although that changes on a regular basis. But yeah, I think it's a very cool game. I think the way that it builds on Ocarina of Time is really cool in that it like is very clearly a direct story sequel, but also then just does something entirely different with its world and the characters and stuff. And the fact that it was made in like 10 months or something like that is buck wild to me. But yeah, I think that like video game sequels can be weird because oftentimes a number going up doesn't mean it's really that much of a sequel of a thing. And I think it's cool that Zelda has very few sequels, but this one in particular, I think really stands out. Does the job well.
It really does, man. Like, when you look at Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, you can definitely easily tell which one is which. It's not like, I always get Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds kind of mixed up, like, mostly names. Like, I guess if I saw the gameplay, I'd be able to tell for sure which
I was
one
gonna
is
say
which.
one's
but...
a Super Nintendo game, one's a
Yeah.
3DS game. They're very different.
Yeah. No, that's a solid pick, man. Majora's Mask is awesome. I think I like that one just a little bit more than Ocarina of Time, mostly because of just how creepy and fucking weird it is.
It
like
is an
they were
unsettling world. Like, it is,
yeah.
creepy,
I really
anxiety-inducing.
I respect a sequel that the devs just kind of look at all the assets they spent a long time making and go, what can we do with that? Can we do something else? Can we make a different thing?
Use them all again, but they mixed it up. Like they reused everything, but nothing got used in the same way, which is a very cool idea. Like all the characters are different instead of just being like, well, it's another adventure in Hyrule, which sounds like I'm complaining about Tears of the Kingdom. But that was not my intention. But I like that Majora's Mask feels different.
My favorite asset they reused was like if you phase the camera inside of a Goron and like look at the ass cheeks, that's the actual texture of the moon. So, like, and the inside, that's a cool little Easter egg. Everybody go check that
That's
out.
such a
real.
Nave fact.
Check out that Goron ass. It's actually the moon.
It's no Wind Waker.
Ass moon.
Safe search off.
Deviant art on.
I bet there's some pretty wicked Majora's Mask Moon Rule 34. Like he's just
Well, now I'm going to
I
say search
just
off.
went,
Hold on.
No.
well, Nave, for bringing up that sweet fact, you can go next.
Oh, I want to look at the moon naked. All right, I'm going to talk about Doom Eternal.
Hell yeah. I just
fuck
beat
yeah.
this the other day, actually.
I think I'm going to beat it again just because I want it on my 2024 tier list I've been making.
Did you do all the DLC as well?
No, I got like halfway through the last one, and then
so
I was
good.
like, I don't know what happened. Like I think Baldur's Gate, and I don't know what's came out. Like
See, I
something
did
distracted
I
me.
did the whole thing, like the DLC and all that in one go. Fucking amazing.
I've got
You
to
played
freaking
Baldur's
do it.
Gate, Nave?
I played a little bit of it. I keep replaying it.
Fuck.
I get like 5 hours in, and I'm like, I want to be a wizard now, and then I'll just remake it. And I'm in a constant cycle of that. I have
That's
no
fair.
commitment.
That's valid.
But I do commit myself to Doom Eternal, my one true love, my only partner, eternally.
What I find interesting about that is apparently there's a lot of people who say Doom 2016 is better. And for me, I can't agree. Like Doom 2016 is very good, but Doom Eternal is just fucking awesome because I think it like fixes all the little issues that Doom 2016 had. Like Eternal is what I wanted Doom 2016 to be.
The people that say that are infants, and let me tell you why. I have one exact. These are the people that started crawling and went and started walking afterwards. They're like, crawling's better, and then they just started crawling around everywhere with their bibs and their fucking doo-doo diapers.
There's a guy who's doing a running on all fours thing on TikTok. It popped up. It's like day 93 of running on all fours every day, and he's just trucking along on all fours.
It's so unsettling.
It's horrifying.
Quadrupeds.
It really is horrifying. Listener, go look up people running full sprint on all fours, like because your knees don't work right.
It looks bad.
It looks very bad. Nick, you can have the next one.
Okay. Yeah, I was I didn't know how long are we doing for these? Are we going super deep into it, or are we just doing like a round robin type thing?
I mean,
only if it's funny.
You go as deep as you can before someone interrupts you with a completely unrelated tangent.
As Troy stares menacingly at me.
Yeah, Troy understands the show. That's 100%.
He's right on the money there. You guys have been making some great picks. I think I might stay a little bit more modern on the same wavelength where Nave is right now. He said Doom Eternal. I'm going to go in the direction of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. The sequel in the Star Wars series. It is by far and away, like last year, 2023, unprecedented year of banger after banger. We were spoiled with riches in terms of the video game, marketplace and everything that was releasing that year, whether it was Tears of the Kingdom or Baldur's Gate 3, whatever your choice was, Final Fantasy 16. Jedi Survivor was one of those that came out last year, and I feel like that because it was surrounded by so many good games. We're talking games that are 8 out of 9 out of 10, whatever you want to rate it scale. It hit that quality. I think it definitely didn't do itself any favors at launch by having as many bugs that it was working through. Most of it was just kind of like visual. There were no real game breaking bugs on my end, but I think it's just like a lot of quality of life, looking at the screen, seeing the actual Respawn logo hitch when you're loading it up, sort of thing, where it was like just small little nitpicks that I think people really dug into that game for. I mean, there's even like worse bugs when you're in game. Like, for example, I'm inside the ship and my cape is like billowing while I'm in the middle of space. Like, what are we doing here? But, there are some graphic engines. I think that they built that on Unreal 4, but goddamn, when it comes to the story and like the journey that Cal goes through, this is like stuff. Me being a Star Wars nerd that doesn't really get addressed that much in the canon, and it's like almost, and it's also a special treat when I get to play, whether it is Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor. They're the most put together narratives that we've gotten in the post Disney era of Star Wars. Like, they're the thing, in my opinion. Like, the only, I think, like Star Wars properties that have come out on Disney or Disney Plus are like the animated features. I can't remember what the name of this is, like Star Wars Eternals or something like that. Visions. But they literally, Star Wars Visions, exactly, Troy. Yeah, and they had like a series of anime shorts or vignettes that were composed by like insanely good, like the same people who did Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's like they really put their money where their mouth is with side projects like that, and it seems like Jedi Survivor fell right under there. But yeah, I don't know, it just touched a really special place in my heart in terms of like kind of seeing him brought to life. And it was almost like, oh, even if we don't see a Cal Kestis or Cameron Monaghan on the big screen or whatever, if he comes into any of the future, they have to. I want them to. But like, if he doesn't, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him staying in the video game universe because I feel like as a narrative, it stands up on its own 2 feet.
All right, fine, I'll play it. Jeez. I started it, and I was the main planet that I guess you go back to over and over again. I was just like not enjoying being on that planet, and I should have given it. If I gave it probably 20 more minutes, I probably would have gone off and done something cool and would have been hooked.
This isn't Earth.
I think it's just there's not like exciting action on that planet. It's just like
it's very big.
Yeah, and it's unfolding a lot of like plot very, very slowly at the start.
I think part of the problem. Go ahead, Thrak. Sorry.
Like I've played Fallen Order and Survivor. Both of them are great, but I think my biggest issue with Survivor was I felt like it was too big. That it was like trying too hard to just sort of make like these giant worlds. And like the story pacing is, I think, rather on the slow side, but I think the story's really good. And it's still essentially the Fallen Order formula, but just done on a bigger scale, which to me kind of made it a little bit less enjoyable. Like I don't think I doubled my playtime, but it was like considerably longer than Fallen Order. And what I loved is Fallen Order, I think I was like maybe 20 hours and I was done. Whereas Fallen Order, it was well over 30, which is fine, but it's just like, not every game needs to be bigger and better. You know what I mean?
I completely agree with you.
So it'll be curious to see what the third one does, and I'm
Well,
very much looking forward to it.
And I mean, Stig Armanson, he was the lead, director for the first, Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, and he's gone now. And I think that somebody underneath him, it was like the game designer under him was elevated to like the director position for whatever the third installment is going to be whenever they get to it.
And they're going to, I think, stop at the third one, which is the right
which
time.
they should. They should. They don't need to extend this out. It doesn't really have
exactly. But question, slightly different question, but I'll ask you, it's Star Wars related. Star Wars Outlaws, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to sneak some Jedi shit in there, or is it just completely gone?
I think they would be smart if they wouldn't.
I agree. I don't think it needs it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't need it as long as they actually wrote a good story. And Ubisoft does not have a good track record. Modern Ubisoft absolutely does not have a good track record of like telling compelling stories. Like, and so if they feel like towards the latter third of the game, oh, we need to spice it up and throw a Jedi in there, maybe you're confronted with a Sith at some point. I don't know. I mean, that'd be cool when you're in that powerless situation. It kind of would be like playing ODST after playing, Halo Reach type situation. If you're
a little bit,
you could spice it up in a certain way, but
I think that would be okay. I just don't want them to give the character a lightsaber.
Yeah,
like if it's like 2/3 of the way through, it's like you're a secret Jedi. It's like, come on.
We have these Jedi games. Like we can do our Jedi power fantasy here. Like people, like I get the sense when it comes to Star Wars, a lot of people just are getting tired of the Jedi shit and just want more like Star Wars Andor, where it's like just more normal people in the Star Wars world kind of thing, And I think Outlaws could be that in video game form, which I think would be a refreshing change of pace. I mean, people seem to be enjoying it, and that it doesn't seem like it's just another Ubisoft game with a Star Wars skin on it. Like from what the previews I've seen suggests that they're actually trying something a little bit different with it.
Yeah,
so
I can agree more.
Hopefully it hits well, because if it does, I will play it.
Yeah,
give my boy Jar Jar Binks a game,
dude. Why not? Why not? Darth Jar Jar.
Dar Jar Jar.
Yeah. I mean,
Dar Jar. Yeah.
And just to like, this is the final thing I will say about Survivor for any of our dear listeners. But Thrak is 100% right. Jedi Survivor does suffer from like a lot of narrative pacing issues, and it also suffers under the weight of its own like game formula of trying to be, in my opinion, a Metroidvania. I feel like because of the Metroidvania systems, the game artificially blocks the character or the player from accessing certain areas. And so in my like, gamer brain goon rot mindset, I'm like, I want 100% every area that I encounter, but I can't do that because you don't have that Metroidvania power up in order. You don't get the BD upgrade in order to allow you to traverse. And so that really messes my mind up, and something that I had to kind of switch like my gears halfway through is that just go along the main story path. Don't do any of the side shit, and just save the side stuff for cleanup after the end if you want to go get a platinum or something.
I think that's the mistake I made.
And and I think like if you do that,
the same mistake Tommy made too.
You can pull a Nave and finish this game in like 10 hours, or at least the campaign. You can just sweat it out. It's fine.
See, that's some sort of thing I prefer about Fallen Order, is that one's also a bit of a Metroidvania, but it's on a smaller scale. Yeah. And I think the best Metroidvanias aren't like these giant, massive games. Like all the Metroid games aren't super long.
Yeah.
Like having that sort of formula done on a, like, say, a Fallen Order type of scale worked a lot better, I think, for Survivor. But I still really enjoyed Survivor. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna continue the modern games trend. I'm gonna go with a game that's I kind of fell off of a little bit last year, but now it's hooked. It's fucking big meaty claws back into my back into my bum. Diablo 4, everybody. Big hand for Diablo 4. Holy
I've
shit.
I've played a bit of Diablo 4.
It's so much better now, dude. 4 seasons deep. They've added so many cool quality of life changes. Like, for one, gems are no longer part of your fucking inventory anymore. They have this whole separate
Oh
fucking
my god.
area for
That's
them.
awesome.
Yeah, it's fuck. And then, oh, what else is there? You
Are there
can
new classes?
not yet. It's coming. They have one
Okay.
coming. It's like a jungle guy.
But
Primal
do they have one
something.
going? That was a come and go joke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got my wheels were my
Nice.
brain's wheels were spinning in place there for a minute. Like, huh? What the fuck else was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So they've completely balanced out all the classes as well too. Like, for a little while there, they kind of shat the bed multiple times. They would be like, "Oh, sorcerer's wizard is too powerful, so just fucking throw in the trash." And then they beefed up the other classes. And then the wizard
was that
like,
when they did the big nerf? Like it was a couple months after the game came out.
yeah,
Like they did something and it was so bad that a bunch of Blizzard guys had to come on camera and say, "Hey, we're sorry, we fucked up. We'll fix it. We swear." Like,
yeah,
wasn't
because
that? Yeah, when did that happen?
that was pretty much around then. Like the wizard was just, or sorcerer, I forget what the fuck it's called. Whatever it was just too powerful, I guess. Just blasting its, like, if you built your character just right, you could blast through the highest level dungeons in like no time. And rather than like tweaking the dungeons or the difficulty of the monsters or anything like that, they were like, nope, kill the class. Like, just annihilate it, make it worthless. And then all the other characters got buffs. And then after a while, it's all balanced out now. There's just so many new items and aspects you can give. Aspects are just like cool passive abilities that you can apply to your armor and weapons to give them cool special abilities to really tweak your build even further. I guess for any listeners or any of you guys who haven't played Diablo 4 or even 3, basically, like, 4 is like more customization than the series has ever had before, and it's awesome. Like, 1 and 2, you just had your base ass classes, and you had these just enormous fucking like intertwining skill trees that you could just build and build and build. And then 3, they were like, nope, cut that down, and instead you had, like, each character had, I guess, like 7 or 8 different abilities, and you could pick different modifiers for those abilities, and like that was it. But then 4, there's just so many different ways that you could build a character. Like, you could build a fire sorcerer or an ice sorcerer, or you could build like a bone spear necromancer. But there's also just different smaller layers to each build as to like how, like an engine to each build in a way, like different. What's the word? You can
Like
synergize
bonuses that you can apply.
exactly. Yeah.
Is it
like
It still lets you like respec at any time too, right? Or
that's
yeah,
another big
change.
change.
Okay.
That's another huge change. Yeah, you can respec at any
Yeah.
time, and it's not like you just reset your entire like skill tree. You can just take points out of certain abilities and then
Right.
plop them into other ones.
That's sick.
That launch that sucked, but yeah, man, it's super rad. There's even more shit that you can do. You can also, like, back when the game first came out, whenever you started a new character, you had to blast your way through the story to get to the cool end game shit and to get your horse so you could fucking go anywhere at a decent pace. But now you can just skip the campaign. Skip the
You just
campaign.
skip it.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy. I mean, I guess like for the people who are like diehards trying to, like, I don't know, min-max their characters or build like an ultimate loadout or whatever, they don't care about the narrative. I personally loved the story of Diablo 4, like the main campaign. It took it's like 25 hours or something like that. But yeah, I can't remember the name of the actor who plays like the Templar that's trying to lead your character down the path of like trying to hunt down Lilith and everything. But it's like Ralph Ineson. He was also Sid in Final Fantasy 16. He had a crazy year last year, but yeah, no, he was incredible.
Robin Williams.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
yeah,
we're gonna hunt down Lilith.
He came back from the dead and played the
Final Fantasy.
second protagonist, Final Fantasy.
Well, have you seen Sid in Final Fantasy VIII?
No.
Look at it. Hold on.
Sid's great.
Please.
Sid in Final Fantasy.
Sid FF8.
Is this the one where he's a frog?
Oh my god.
Look at him.
Holy shit! What is
He
going-
looks so cool. Yeah, that is Robin Williams.
I
dude.
told you,
Chad.
it's like Robin Williams. I just heard Sid, and I didn't just blurted that out. I don't know.
Well, yeah. If for any listeners, if you liked Diablo 4, but you were turned off for whatever reason, I implore you, it's also on Game Pass. Give it another try. Give it
Is it
another
on Game
try.
Pass? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's
Of
on
course
Game
it is. They
Pass.
bought the thing.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, it was. I think it was like the first Activision game brought to Game Pass. I think.
Took
all
him
right.
so.
I'll go
Yeah,
pick
they
one up.
haven't done that much. They've done
Yes.
Diablo 4. I think just today they did Modern Warfare 3,
Yeah, they just
and
added
the
that one.
rumor is in a couple weeks they're dropping the Crash trilogy on there,
That's the rumor.
which will the
Whoa.
8th of August,
Whoa.
the Crash
Whoa.
Insane
Are they-
trilogy coming to Game
Crash
Pass,
Whoa.
which honestly just gives me an excuse to play those games again. So
Didn't they say that they were also going to drop like all of the mainline Call of Duty games? on there
yeah,
at some point?
They will
think,
eventually. Modern
think-
Warfare 3 dropped today, I think.
Yeah,
think they're gonna
it
just
did.
slowly
yeah,
roll
that's
it
like
out?
the current one. Yeah, I think the plan is that they saw when they bought Bethesda and dropped everything into Game Pass all at once. Like that was cool, but after a while, people were just like, "Yeah, it's all there." So with Activision, they're like, "We have a lot more titles, so instead of just doing them all at once, let's trickle them out to
I
keep
want
the
my
excitement
fucking
going."
Spyro. God damn it!
I want Spyro too, man.
I need my dragon.
I want a reason to 100% them all again.
You know.
God damn.
But
What's,
I will say with Diablo, the only Diablo I've played is Diablo 4. I put a couple of hours into it with Chris from a novel console when he still did stuff, and we had a good time with it. But we only put like a couple hours into it. I did
Play with
enjoy
me.
it, but we can co-op it. We can co-op it.
Thrak,
I'm like maybe a level 5.
let me spice it all up for you. I started a new necromancer like fucking yesterday or the day before, and I'm already level like 30. It's quick, dude.
I have no idea what my level is, but you know,
Aaron,
we'll do
I-
it. Set
I
a
did wanna
date and
ask
a
you-
time. We'll do it.
Fuck yeah, let's do it. Yes,
I
Nick.
did want to ask it in terms of I think the season 4 new content update. It's called the narrative stuff is called Season of the Witch. Is that right? Am I? What is it called?
I don't. Oh, what is it?
What do you think a witch uses it as seasoning in her pot? In her
Lowry's.
Toad skin.
Lowry's.
Italian seasoning.
Yeah.
Lemon
Little-
pepper.
Maybe a little thyme.
Oh, don't fuck with the lemon pepper.
No,
Blue?
she's really into Old Bay seasoning.
Ooh, or like Creole seasoning. I'm down with some Creole seasoning. Is it?
I love it.
I'm getting mixed signals here. Is it Season of Loot? What?
No, surely not. That's not the one that I saw. It was at the last Xbox showcase, and they had like the title on it, but it was like the story is about the girl who is taking you into the tomb to go try and find her mom in like the actual campaign. And this one is actually following up with like what happens to her after all of that. Like
And they crucified that
content.
chick.
Oh, the new one is Vessel of Hatred.
Vessel of Hatred.
There
yes.
we go.
Yeah.
Have you
comes in
played
October.
any of that like content yet?
Not yet. I've just been doing hell tides and grinding
Okay.
my level like a motherfucker.
Hell
like
yeah.
it's nuts, man.
Dude, with a title like Vessel of Hatred, I don't blame any of us for forgetting what the fuck it was called. I'm gonna be honest with you.
This is like a hate breed song, honestly.
It's like a
Yeah,
random
five-finger death
Diablo
punch.
generator.
5-finger death punch.
Oh God.
All right, Troy, what you got for us next?
I didn't realize I was up next. Tori,
Did Thrak
I'm
go?
gonna... Wait, yeah, Thrak didn't go. That's why I thought I wasn't up next.
Oh, wait, he didn't.
I haven't made a sequel yet.
Well, I was like 3 modern games in a row. Thrak's gonna break it up, and I was like, wait,
Oh,
I guess
okay.
Thrak
My bad.
went.
I mean, I'll do a retro game if you want me to.
No,
Oh.
no. Do what
Follow
you
your
want to do.
heart.
Well,
Be who you want to be.
I
Or
did
your
not.
heart.
ARBIE.
I did not prep for this, so I'm gonna pick just sequels off the top of my head. But I think this is an easy one for me. Shining Force
Sonic
2.
2?
Shining
Oh.
Force 2.
I still haven't played a Shining Force.
Okay, so
Huh?
What are they on?
Sega.
Sega Genesis. Yes.
And on the Nintendo Switch Online app.
Have you
Both of
played
them are
Shining
on
Force,
there,
Nave?
Maybe. Is
Fire
that
Emblem
is
in
it-
Space?
Yeah,
it's not in
it's-
space.
Fire Emblem in.
Oh, it's like Fire Emblem. Okay, never mind.
Imagine Fire Emblem with no permadeath and more interesting classes.
Like way
That's
cartoonier.
crazy.
Kinda.
Under
Yeah.
so Unicorn Overlord.
Is it
But
still
it's on-
fantasy themed?
But it's on
Basically.
Sega
It's
Genesis?
fantasy. Well, the first Shining Force is fantasy themed, but slowly adds sci-fi elements. Like you
Okay.
get when you get the big Chaos Breaker, it's just a fucking lightsaber, which is pretty cool. There's like a robot named Adam who becomes like Max's best friend. It's a whole thing. Anyway, so Shining Force 2 it came out in the year 1994 on the Sega Genesis, and Shining Force 1 I hold very closely to my heart, but that's another topic. So Shining Force 2 is just a really, really well done sequel that isn't directly connected to Shining Force 1, but there is connections through the Gaiden series of games and like Shining Force CD and all that. So you're Bowie, and who's a kid, and him and his buddies are going to class where they're being taught by Gandalf, and then basically shit happens, like a evil spirit possesses this like a king of a neighboring kingdom who's going to like destroy the world or whatever, and so these kids have to form the Shining Force to take them out. But what I like about it is how it greatly expands on the story, because Shining Force 1 has a very kind of simple story, right? And this one is simple, but there's a lot more moments for like character interaction. Like say there's a moment where they're having to say build a boat to escape, and then they're like chatting, and then they have to, when they land and have to rebuild their town, they break down the boat, so it leads for some like comedic moments there. There's kind of random encounters this time, because in Shining Force 1, if you want to grind, how you do it is you use Max's egress ability to leave battle before you win it, so you can just redo the whole thing and keep all the experience. You can still do that here, but there are some like random encounters which can kind of negate that a little bit. The gameplay is much faster. The menus are much more lightning quick because there's a lot of menus. It's an RPG. It fixes the item management issues, because Shining Force 1, whenever you would find a bunch of items, like Max would just have them, and then you'd have to distribute them between everybody before you could hold more stuff. In 2, if, say, Bowie's full of stuff, it'll just go to the next person.
Is
And
this
then
a
you can-
situation where you need to play the first game, or
No.
like if I was going to play, just start with 2
No.
because the quality of life stuff?
I mean, I think both of them are
Yeah,
still
2.
well worth your time. Like, I hold Shining Force 1 very close to my heart, but Shining Force 2 is a fantastic sequel that does fix a lot of the little things that's
Okay.
wrong with Shining Force 1, and it stands on its own as a spectacular strategy RPG.
And it made the
Cool.
AI even better too. Like
Yeah.
AI in Shining Force 1
yeah.
was stupid.
Though in Shining Force 2, you will deal with a character named Peter, who he's like a bird. It's a whole thing. And for a good chunk of the game, he's AI controlled. He never officially joins your party. And he is a bitch because he is so powerful. And since he's a flying character, he has a lot more movement speed. So he'll just come in and just steal kills and take XP like crazy, which is really fucking annoying. But eventually you gain control of him. But yeah, a fantastic game. And if you beat the game, you can unlock a special battle with all of the bosses on a floating Sonic head.
That's cool.
That rules.
It does. And it's a
Which
hard as
head?
fuck. It's a hard as fuck battle because it's all the bosses in the entire game as one
Fact-
party.
I'm really impressed by how far you got into your description of that game before you actually needed to pause Power Wash Simulator. I really wondered if you were going to just keep playing it all the way through. Listeners, you don't see it. He was doing a great job of like really informative explanations about the game while also power washing stuff. It was quite impressive.
All off the top of my head, I didn't write anything down. But yeah,
It's
Shining
like
Force 2 is phenomenal.
It is, dude. It's so good. And it's one of the few strategy RPGs that has a world map and like explorable towns and shit, and that's really cool. Because like
Yes.
Fire Emblem, even like we'll say the Valkyrie Profile game, that's a fucking strategy RPG. A lot of those you just go from like mission
One map
to
to-
mission to
yeah.
mission. Yeah, and it's like menu based. But
Oh
Shining
yeah,
Force, yeah, you just run around Final
yeah.
Fantasy style.
The
world
town
map
exploration
towns.
stuff is super fun. It feels very much like, say, like a Final Fantasy or something, where you just break into houses and steal herbs and shit. But like I think Shining Force 1 does it slightly better because there's a lot of hidden characters in Shining
Yeah.
Force 1 that you can miss. There's like a samurai and a ninja and all this other stuff. But But Shining Force 2 is just it doesn't have as much like quirky things as Shining Force 1, but it has a much more focused story and is kind of just like a grander adventure overall. So, but it's great.
Oh yeah, it is great.
And physical copies are super fucking expensive. Thanks,
I bet,
guys.
dude. Thankfully, it's on like every fucking thing now.
Yeah, but
All the
I
Genesis
would buy one
compilations
just to like put it in those glass case and then just have it just to look at it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a freak.
Speaking of freaks, 41 minutes. How about we take an ad break?
You're
Should
not
we
going
take
to
an ad
throw
break?
to me after speaking of freaks? I was so excited by that intro.
This
No,
is a room of freaks, Troy. What are you talking about?
I guess like 15 minutes of that was the beginning shit. No, fuck it. Speaking of freaks, let's take an ad break. We'll be right back. Let's take a minute to thank the real sponsors of Super Pod Saga, the real MVPs, the real stars of the show, the official superstars, I guess, the patrons. Each and every one of you is a superhero, and I really mean that. It means just the world to me. But yeah, thank you a lot. It's so cool, so awesome. Let's thank all of them. Let's go. A Novel Console, Jared Schrader, Jameson Empire, Adam Phineas, Trey, Adam Forrester, Jeff Miners, Jenny E, Kevin Demo, Thrak, Mr. Kwong, Matt aka Stormageddon. Every single one of you are just the best. I'm giving you a big, huge salute right now. You can't see it because I'm a dingus, but yeah, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the bonus content. If anybody out there listening to this wants to subscribe to the Patreon and get some cool bonus content, help out the show, help me, help Jerry, whoever, there's a link in the episode description, or just go to patreon.com/superpodsaga. It's all there. There's 2 tiers, $4 a month. All of you guys, thank you so much, and hope you enjoy the rest of the episode. If you're a fan of coffee and you're looking for something different, I think we've got just the thing for you. That's Bones Coffee. Bones Coffee is not your usual coffee company. Of course, it's all sugar-free, gluten-free, all that stuff, because it's just coffee, nothing added to it. But they roast each batch of coffee beans to your order, and they've got just a bazillion different flavors to choose from. They've got your usual French vanilla, salted caramel, they've got Irish cream, of course they've got decaf, single origin coffees like Kenya, Guatemala, stuff like that, even what they call high voltage, which is extra strength, extra caffeine, but they have all sorts of other awesome kind of out of the box flavors. They've got ones like cotton candy, maple bacon, and even mint chocolate chip ice cream. And they're always coming up with new crossover flavors, like they've done a bunch for Nightmare Before Christmas, Indiana Jones, even Spider-Man, of all things. And they're also coming up with new seasonal flavors all the time. If this sounds right up your alley, feel free to use the link in our episode description and use coupon code SUPERPODSAGA at checkout to get 20% off your order. That's SUPERPODSAGA at checkout to get 20% off your order. And if you're not just in the market for coffee, you can also get some sweet mugs. They've got lots of cool shirts. They've got all sorts of different brewing equipment like French presses, stuff like that. Just head on over to bonescoffee.com, or again, use the link in our episode description and get 20% off. Get yourself a new interesting flavor and spice up your morning routine with Bones Coffee. I really hope you enjoy. I'm a really big fan of it, and I hope you find one that really hooks you. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good one. don't even know how to fucking start it. So mobile homes, right? Trailer homes, trailer parks. They're cheap. They're affordable. Good amount of space for a single man. What if I were to tell you we can make mobile homes even more mobile, introducing even more mobile homes? They've got legs and wheels and shit. They can actually move on their own. They're autonomous.
What are they,
completely
Transformers?
Autonomous. Basically, except they don't transform. They stay a mobile home the entire time. They're like,
So not at all like Transformers.
They're like
Wake up in a new
Transformers,
city
except they're
every
not.
day.
it's
What are
constantly
these sentient mobile homes?
exactly.
Where are you
Yeah,
gonna be? You don't know. It's a surprise.
yeah. I mean, you could probably tame it and befriend it by giving it its favorite food, much like Yokai Watch, the hit video game series / anime series.
Where's
It's-
Yokai Watch 4?
Right? They said it was coming, but it still hasn't fucking come. I'm waiting.
Well, if
Anyway.
you pay a 10% markup, you can actually get the addition of the even more mobile home that lets you print out a map quest and feed it into. There's a mouth-shaped hole that you put the map quest papers into, and it will take you somewhere while you sleep. So you could actually go to sleep one night and wake up in the morning at your job in the parking lot.
Bro, I haven't heard the phrase map quest in like years.
I did dig
I
deep.
know, dude.
Did MapQuest pivot? It must have, right? There's got to be a
No.
MapQuest app.
They probably just ended it all.
A map quest
They
app.
ended it all, I'm sure.
I'm gonna find out real quick.
And you know what? Here's something Tesla can't do. Teslas, I mean, sure, they can drive themselves, but that's only on roads. Even more mobile homes, they can go fucking anywhere. They can go anywhere that you could like climb or like walk through a stream. Your little mobile home.
Yeah, you
Has
can
little legs.
ford a river like in what is that game?
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail. Yeah.
It
Or
gets
like,
like on its little twinkle toes and just like, goes along a little creek.
It has little
It's-
arms that come out and pull up the siding so that the siding doesn't erode.
Like a little dress.
Yeah.
Now, Aaron, can I talk to my mobile home?
After, I mean, you have to befriend it and tame it, much like a wild animal. You've got
Like
to
a
like
Tamagotchi.
you got to caress the siding a little bit. Be like, shh, it's okay. I'm here for you. I love you. We're together now. It's okay.
You have to clean up
He's
its
a
after
mobile
its
home
poop.
whisperer.
Like you clean up after its poop, but it's just your poop because it's obviously not connected to plumbing. So every time you poop, it just comes
It
out.
shits out your shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah.
then- and
So
then- and then one day you wake up surrounded by police cars because your mobile home did something overnight, but the mobile home doesn't get in trouble. You do, and then the
No, if
mobile
you have
home doesn't
insurance,
bail you out of jail. 'Cause
if
he's
you
a
have
fucking
insurance, it's
prick.
fine. Yeah. My mobile home is such an asshole. Last night it ran over some kids or something.
He was doing cocaine and murdered a woman and put my blood on her body. What an asshole!
Dude, it's framing you for murder, so it can like it can force you out. It can get you evicted, so another family can move in.
He's waked up to TikTok footage of your even more mobile home skinning a cat.
Holy shit! Fuck yeah! Nick, what's your experience been like as a satisfied even more mobile homes customer?
Okay, not a lot of listeners know this, but I lived in a mobile home for multiple years on top of a mountain in this far away place called Fairview, North Carolina.
Hold on, that seems like the
fuck
worst
yeah.
place to be in a mobile home. It's on a mountain.
There's
It
so
was on
many,
top of a
so much
mountain.
room to fall.
teetering.
It was a
off the side.
community.
Well, that's
It was
why he needed a
community.
sentient one.
My dad, he owned a house in a historic neighborhood in Asheville. Owned it outright. Probably had a mortgage with a super low interest rate because we're talking, this is like early 90s, to early 2000s, right? And then he decides one day, he says, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this for pennies on the dollar and go live in a mobile home on top of a mountain while I build a log cabin for like 5 years.
Holy
The
shit!
cabin was never built. We just lived in a trailer. It was great. It was great.
This man
I
loves property.
I have
value.
vivid memories of leaving the mobile home at certain points and just going off and like fucking around in the woods because this just had endless
too.
woods up the side of the mountain for hours at a time. I had to like shit next to a tree and like wipe my ass with a leaf, just the
Yep.
classics.
Dude,
Just the
Yep.
classics.
Imagine doing that, but your home follows you into the woods.
It watches.
And your toilet would
home-
be right there.
Your
Yeah,
home
just
wipes
like a
your
pull
ass for
behind.
you.
No,
Isn't
he
that-
watches you
that's-
poop. It's not weird.
That's just like that's an RV. That's not a mobile home, right?
No, but it follows you rather than
That's
you
true.
driving it.
It's even
Yeah,
more
that's fair.
mobile.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sponsored by T-Mobile.
oh shit! Yeah. So you've got
In partnership with.
You've constantly got Wi-Fi following you around. You got like a little leash around it, one of its arms, because
That's
it's got
amazing.
like, because it's crawling. It's got its two back legs are actually legs, but like the front two are arms for whatever reason. So it's like crawling.
So when he runs,
Dude,
he's like that weird
It's like the
human,
guys
the
running on all
quadruped.
fours.
Yeah, a quadruped.
Troy, what's your experience been like with Even More Mobile Homes as a satisfied Even More Mobile Homes customer?
It's been great. It's really been freeing to just have no idea where I'm going to be at any time, but to know that my house is going to be there. I have lost my job and my family, or I guess
They're
they've lost
literally
me
lost.
because I don't know exactly where I am anymore, but it's beautiful out. And hopefully tomorrow it's beautiful again instead of that one time it was a swamp. When the Even More Mobile Home ends up in a swamp, it's a bad time for everybody.
Don't give the game away.
Well, actually, we do. This is just coming in. Boop, 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 boop. Hot
Breaking
news.
news.
Off of
Breaking
breaking
news.
the news.
Breaking news.
The brand new edition of the Even More Mobile Home is actually hydrophobic, so it will actively run away from storm clouds. And as he actively runs away from me telling him about his exact mobile home that he needs.
That's a good addition. Yeah, so they can splice the DNA of your Even More Mobile Home with that of a mobile home that's hydrophobic, so it won't walk into bodies of water.
Yeah.
It'll seek shelter when it rains.
Yeah.
Yes.
And speaking of
What?
even more mobile homes,
We're playing God with
You
Even
have
more
mobile
mobile
yourself
homes.
a building for your Even More Mobile Home to keep it out of the rain.
and then that
A
becomes
bucket's
sentient.
rolling, dude. a little awning for your mobile home.
It's a fucking house. We invented a house. I don't know.
A house that wants its own house.
Thrak, what's your experience been like?
Well, I would tell you, but I have one in my backyard, right? Been feeding them, just random.
Did you get it
bison.
chipped?
I was gonna get him chipped, but then this morning, I was giving him just another 2-wheeler, and he was gone. I was like, where the fuck? And he left a trail. I followed the trail, the path of destruction, as I like to call it.
The old snail
Just your
trail.
shit.
Yes,
Just your
essentially.
shit. That's freaking-
Yeah, there's just like oil and bits of tar and for some reason hair. There's a lot of hair. I don't know where the hair came from.
yeah, in unit air conditioners just skewing left and right.
Copper
It was
wiring.
like dry ice. But it stretched for miles and miles, and I just couldn't find him. So unfortunately, I could not get a proper testimonial. So I don't know what happened. Maybe he saw another mobile home and got excited, wanted to start a family. So maybe he
Woof,
just
woof,
ditched me.
Well, these Even More Mobile Homes do have a self-reporting function, not a feature. You don't want this if you're being mean to it. So if you were mean to that mobile home, we're gonna know.
We're gonna know.
We're
And,
gonna repossess that shit.
And speaking of even
get
more
cancer
mobile
as well.
homes, we have to give a special thanks to Even More Mobile Homes publisher / developing studio BlackRock Inc., the true creators of the cryptid mobile home. All thank you, praise be to the dark lords of BlackRock.
They really unironically are Transformers, and once we go to war with Russia, they all turn into like anti-air fucking.
They're all just
playing-
Starscream. It's
You're
just
playing
Starscream.
Stardew Valley, and your fucking
Oh,
mobile home
dude.
turns into a Gundam.
All right,
It's
man,
just like
launch
this.
the double wides.
It's this big like conspiracy where you're like you're a Russian spy and you're living in an American mobile home and you're constantly telling it little like Russian war secrets like pss, 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 like KGB.
That's
And then-
the Russian language.
You're slowly
Cats
turning it.
speak
Da, dostovania.
Watch your
You have
language.
like a sleeper
Looney Tunes
agent, even
whispers.
more mobile home. You got like gun turrets and shit. They're like you give it the secret word. It's like microplastics, and it goes like attack mode engaged. That's it. That's the ad.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you, MapQuest.
Yeah, thank you, MapQuest.
I
Wherever
checked.
you are.
There is an app.
There is
There
one?
is?
Yes, there is.
What is it, like a cam girl app? Like, what do they do?
Download
They're
and
the-
find out, Nave.
Here I
You
go.
OnlyFans freak.
They're
Only
their
I can-
Omegle's
only I can
chief
do it.
competitor. MapQuest.
No,
Omegle.
each mobile home is installed with MapQuest,
That's right.
so it knows where it's going.
It
at all
comes with
times.
an Amazon Fire TV with only 2 applications, MapQuest and
Game Pass.
Omegle.
and it has Game Pass in it. You know, that
Yeah, Game
Microsoft
Pass.
initiative.
1
Where they're
month
putting
of
Game Pass
Game Pass
everywhere.
Core. It's Game Pass Core.
Game
It's
Pass
not
Core.
Ultimate. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Ultimate.
Oh, thank God.
There's no way they
I
have
can
enough
play
money for
Halo
Ultimate.
Infinite in my mobile home. Thank
The real
God.
bummer of that is Core doesn't even include cloud playing, so you can't actually use it. But it's there.
Hey, I mean, you got it.
Well,
You
in
got
6
online.
months, when
That's-
Microsoft drops Xbox Game Pass Core with cloud, that's
There
like
we go.
$2 more expensive. Then it's like, oh, okay. Now I'm not confused.
The CEO of Even More Mobile Homes thought cloud gaming was just like, the clouds gaming
It was in the clouds.
outside.
Jim Ryan.
The clouds that, it's the clouds that obscure your satellite system while you're inside enjoying a nice television program on your Even More mobile home.
Your Walker, Texas Ranger.
So instead, you can play Game Pass through the cloud.
No, you watch that show, and then then your mobile home thinks he is a Walker Texas Ranger. And then he
Dude,
leaves.
could you imagine a house trying to do a roundhouse kick? Maybe that's why it's called the roundhouse, because it's supposed to be performed by the Even More Mobile Even More Mobile House. I don't know.
Yes. Now,
round house is
Aaron,
just
now when you buy an Even More Mobile home, does it come with a box of Hamburger Helper?
Yes.
Okay.
Every mobile home, not even like Even More Mobile Homes, every mobile home comes with Hamburger Helper, whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
A 1-year subscription to Hamburger Helper.
but it's through
Hamburger
the
Helper
cloud.
quarterly.
It's through the cloud. So it just rains on you once in a while.
Through the cloud. Betty Crocker cloud recipes or Betty Crocker Plus. Jesus Christ. Thanks,
Plus
Betty, for
core.
sponsoring this episode.
Bad.
Can we just
Now
make a
we're back.
podcast just about this?
We should. Oh my god, dude.
Just writing like dystopian science fiction novels.
We're back, by the way, everybody. Speaking of back, Troy.
What's on your shirt, Aaron?
It's just some like
Cold
It's-
brew?
That's the front, not the back.
It's-
The witch's brew?
it's witch's brew.
Oh, I thought it was
It's those,
bitches brew.
it's those
got, like, a coffee
goddamn
pot?
Salem witches at it again.
Yeah, with the
Yep.
Italian seasoning and whatever the
No,
fuck we were
the
talking
Old
about
Bay
before.
seasoning. Old Bay.
Yeah, that's
Massachusetts
right.
real
Bay.
seasoning.
Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku is a shit video game.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 2 is a very good video game. I played through Legacy of Goku last year, I want to say. It's a bad game.
What makes it bad?
Okay, you know Goku, right?
Yeah.
And
Who's
if you know a few things about him, one of them is probably going to be him strong.
He has a straw hat, right?
That's the one.
That's the one.
Oh, thank you.
Him strong. In Legacy of Goku, you will regularly die to a random snake in the woods.
Damn.
Just all the time. All the time. Random little enemies will kill you because that game's leveling system is just everything about it's broken. There's a fan.
I don't-
Final Fantasy 2.
I don't know the last time you were in the woods, but snakes have venom.
Yeah,
Very
but
dangerous.
Not all snakes.
snakes. If I ran
My
into a
Even
snake
More
in the
Mobile
wood,
Home died to one, in fact.
I would die.
The venom got in his transmission.
That's
I
what
had to
Thrak's
have euthanized.
mobile home went. It's just fucking on the ground. Like, you know how Peter Griffin falls down the stairs? And that's how the mobile home is with the snake fight.
Ah!
No, he's doing that and the snake's still like flopping on him. Doesn't let go.
If the
That's
game
a
was
hard
called Legacy of Troy, it would make sense to die to snakes. But it's called Legacy of
That's
Goku, and Goku should not die to a snake. The second game is basically all the same gameplay mechanics, but everything works better, and also it lets you play as a bunch of different characters as the story dictates, which is really, really cool. And it's a shame that the first game sucks because like the art style of it's cool. The concept of like a top-down Dragon Ball adventure is a really cool idea. The first game is just miserable to play, and somehow they got the green light to make a sequel, and the sequel's really, really good, and I really, really like it.
These are the GBA ones, right?
Yeah, these are on the Game Boy
Okay.
Advance. And then they made a third that's called Boo's Fury, but it doesn't have the Legacy of Goku name, but I believe it is in that same line in everything except
It's like
for
the
the
same
title.
devs or something.
I think it is. I think it's everything's the same. They just took out the Legacy of Goku title, maybe because they
Yeah.
thought people wouldn't pick up a number 3 in the series, which honestly is why I'm surprised that Legacy of Goku 2 is called Legacy of Goku 2, because nobody who played the first game was going to be like, oh, cool, another one of those. Because even with the fan mod that I did that made the first game reasonable, it was still an unpleasant experience to play. But the sequel's good.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
I fucking love those games as a kid. I don't
Yeah.
remember anything about them, but I remember I liked it.
You probably do you have a fear of snakes? Because if you do, you can probably trace it back to that game.
That's where it came from.
Yeah,
Legacy
it's not
of
primordial. It's Legacy of Goku.
The fear of worms too. Just anything that looks like it.
Anything that wiggles.
resembling that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like a hot
Beware
dog.
Aaron's finger.
Gummy worms.
Yeah, fucking.
The Wiggles.
Ooh.
Disconnect.
You see Nave flip the fuck over. Like the Life Alert lady. Holy shit.
He just like disconnects from the call.
That's the fourth
Oh.
app in the even more mobile homes is Life Alert, actually.
Oh. Because my house has fallen and it can't get up.
Oh,
That makes sense because you gotta call like you gotta call one of those like house moving trucks to like to
double
tip
A
it.
or whatever. Triple A.
It's triple A alert.
Quadruple A. It's gonna have that extra A, dude. Houses are heavy. Nave, go.
I'm talking about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, boys.
Yeah, the best
Is this
one.
the one that had Darth Maul as like one of the secret add-ons?
Your
you
guess
can
is as
get.
good as mine.
I think it
that's
is
correct.
3. I think it's 3.
Because it's like, yeah, he's one of the characters that you can do like a cheat code and unlock him, or you do something crazy in the game.
Yeah, you can do cheat codes too, though. Everyone did cheat codes.
Wolverine is for sure in
Yes.
there.
Yes,
Wolverine,
it's
I
Darth
do
Maul
remember
and Wolverine.
Spider-Man's 2, right?
Yeah, I think Spider-Man's a 2.
Where did they get the license to put them in? Did Activision have the license for all those characters back then?
Well, Activision was making all the Spider-Man games at the time, so
And
for
not
the
only
Marvel stuff, it makes
Activision,
sense.
literally the same people that made Tony Hawk, the Neversoft guys, made the Spider-Man games.
And didn't
Oh.
was Raven still under Activision as a publisher when they did like the X-Men Origins Wolverine game?
Yeah, Raven was a developer.
But they were just under Activision still at that
Yeah.
point.
Well, I think
Or
they were always
were they
weren't they
independent?
always under Activision?
I don't know. No idea.
I'll never forgive Activision for not doing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remastered. I'm really fucking mad about that.
Well, maybe
What did you think
Microsoft
about
will let them
one
do it.
and two
It's not happening.
remake?
There's no fucking way. I loved
Don't
it.
get your hopes up, man.
Really?
I probably put like 70, 80 hours into it. Like I'm probably gonna download it just talking about it and play it some more. Like fuck. The achievements are really hard because you have to do insane, like crazy. You have to like do an entire map wide gap in fucking combo. It's terrible, but
Do a
maybe
Christ
I'll try it.
Air.
yeah.
No, wrong game.
3 is the like pinnacle of that series, which is why
Yeah.
like 1 and 2 remake, I was like, this is great. It's not what I want. Like I appreciate that you remade these, but come on, where's 3? That's obviously what we're here for. And
Well, I
Thank
think it's
God
like
Underground
one and
winning
2 are like
mechanics.
the more kind of cultural, like touchstone ones. You know,
Yeah.
like those are the ones people think about more.
Yeah,
Even
until
though
you
when
go back
really I
and play
think
them
they're
and you're like,
thinking
oh my
about
god, I
3.
can't revert.
yeah,
This is tough. You can't even manual in 1. Did you know that?
What? Let's see. So 3,
Wait, you
you've
don't
got
manual until 4, right?
no.
It's 2 added
Two.
manual.
Oh, 2 added. Okay.
and 3 added revert, I believe.
Yeah. And then
3 had the-
finally we're here. Like to
Let's
the
see, we
fucking
had
peak.
Refinery is the first level.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Alaska? Canada. The guy had his tongue
Somewhere
stuck.
cold.
They're the same. They're the
Kid
same.
with his tongue stuck to a pole. That was a good one. You had to smack him to get him off there. That was a fun game.
And then there was that one Tony
Ace of
Hawk game
Spades.
where you could get off of your skateboard and that was cool. You could run
Fuck.
around.
Yeah.
Or it was American
Underground.
Wasteland.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think you could do that in 4 too, right? No,
Really?
4 is the first one that opened up, but you couldn't walk. I think that
You
was
could skitch
reserved
in
for
4 though.
Yeah,
yeah,
Skitchin'.
dude,
Skitchin'.
which was worthless.
Did
I
you
mean, it
guys-
was cool.
That
Did
was
you
like
guys-
its big feature when it came out. They're like, you
Yeah.
could skitch. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't actually add that much.
Have y'all ever skitched in real life on a skateboard or rollerblades or anything?
Are you
I,
crazy?
I was on a skateboard one time, fell on my ass, and was like, I'm never doing this again.
Actually, I lied. I did it on a
And that was
bike,
like
which
2
is
years
much
ago.
less scary.
That
Being on
seems
a
more
bike and
scary
holding
because your
on to it.
balance is like, oh, that seems tippy. I've done it on rollerblades, and it's okay. Skitching a bike on rollerblades is very, very fun. You get a friend on a bicycle, you grab those 2 little hooks under the seat.
I thought you were doing like a fucking human centipede of the bike is behind the guy on rollerblades in the car.
Which one's the mouth?
We need to do a Superpod Network roller disco. That'd be cool.
I thought you were gonna say Superpod Human Centipede. Human Centipede tier list
No.
Superpod.
Oh,
I'm about
God.
to blow your mind even more. A human centipede of even more mobile homes. That's just like a convoy, I guess. Or a trailer park community. I don't know. Nick.
Yeah. This is tough because I have a whole list here that I'm looking at, and I kind of want to, do justice. There's just so many children I have to choose from now to talk about. But speaking of children, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about a Resident Evil game that I don't normally talk about, and that's Resident Evil 7. And I'll tell you
Okay.
what, boys, I really
Hell
do
yeah.
enjoy 7 a lot. I know
still
that
haven't
it's
played 7.
contentious. You haven't played it yet?
I have
I-
it, but I still have yet to play it.
I would
It's good,
highly
dude.
recommend it. I think like 7 is the game that kind of turned, or it was like in
A return to
Capcom's like,
form.
yeah, it was a return to form in terms of like a true horror styled game. I think that they lean more heavily into body horror. Nave, have you played this? I feel like we might have talked about 7 before at some point.
I do love 7,
Yeah.
but like the way I would describe it to Thrak, because he was with me on Doom Eternal, it is like 7 and 8 is like Doom Eternal and then Doom 2016, where like 7's very slow compared to 8, and then
Yeah.
8 is just like the thing I was so sad about with 7, which I still love it, but I was like, oh, it's not like stupid anymore. And then like
Yeah.
I got to 8, and it's like, oh, it's really stupid again, boys. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm shooting grenade launchers and shit. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
7
Seven's
takes
great,
itself very seriously, doesn't it?
I do appreciate how seriously it takes itself. And I think that like it was funny because I didn't expect having as much of a linear story that was kind of like delivered to me in 7, but like they do some really cool stuff in terms of like bending like different horror genres, because obviously they're leaning into like, cerebral horror, they're leaning into like body horror very, very heavily, but at the end they turn like to this like very kind of film oriented like first person shooter, or no, not first person, like found footage camera styled like horror in terms of the way they present it. There's like a moment where you have to go through it's kind of like a horror funhouse, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Roadhouse type situation, and your character is having fucking nails, shoved into his
Texas
gut and stuff.
Roadhouse.
It's
Yummy.
insane.
Eating a baked
It is
sweet
absolutely
potato.
insane. But
That game has a VR mode, and I don't like scary games, and decided I should play Resident Evil 7 in VR.
it sounds like a terrible idea.
It was.
Make sure you wear diapers.
It was
You
a
beat the
very
whole
bad
game?
idea. No,
Yeah.
God, I literally did not get to a point where anything happened to me before I was too scared to take the headset off.
Oh,
Because like just the opening of it, like you keep seeing like a guy in the distance, and there's bodies hung up and stuff. And then I think you go into a part where you actually find a camcorder and you're playing that.
You're playing
That
footage
part,
back.
You
yeah.
play as the people who are filming.
You
And
find
there's
a
a part
V-
where you had to go down a ladder, and I literally I went and got someone to sit next to me because I was like, I can't do this alone. I have to climb down this ladder. I'm gonna close my eyes, and you need to tell me when it's safe to open my eyes again in VR because it's too scary.
That's
well, the thing
incredible.
about the VR helmet is you can't see that you pissed yourself.
That's true.
But you can feel it.
You could
Yeah,
just,
you can only
could
pee
just
so
live
much.
in your own.
Ethan's
Use your
always
other
got something
senses.
wet on him though, so you just
Yeah.
think that's part of the
His hand
experience.
gets fucked
That's how
up.
it goes. But yeah, no, Resident Evil 7
Yeah,
is just
It
it's
pours
it,
that Mountain Dew on it, so it's fine.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Some
Just a
Baja
little bit of
Blast.
dew.
That's what I do when
Just a little
Molly
bit of
pisses on the
dew.
floor.
It's
Get a
even
paper
better if
towel,
it's
Mountain Dew
Baja
on it.
Blast.
Oh shit! Sorry, Nick. Sorry,
It's
Nick. Go
okay.
ahead.
It's okay. Yeah, but I mean, like, there's not a lot. I don't want to like make this drag on because poor Aaron has to edit 5 different, audio feeds for this one episode.
No,
but
it's fine, dude. Don't
Dude,
worry about it.
this
As
product-
long
Do
as
you
it's
think
not
he
2.5
edits?
hours long,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
yeah, I just think that like 7. I don't know where the franchise would have gone if they continued down the route of 6. And I know that Nave loves how ridiculous and how fucking stupid 6
Oh,
was.
man.
And I actually own 6, and I still haven't experienced that for myself. I was Chris punching boulders when Resident Evil 5 first came out, but I just never got into 6. And then years, was divorced from Resident Evil, and then came back with 2, 3 remake, and then obviously, coming on to play 7. But it's just that, yeah, you definitely owe it to yourself, and it's just it pulls so many different genres into itself. You could tell that like the director that they had in charge of the 7 project was becoming like the lead person for that Resident Evil team. And I can't wait to try out. I don't know, I think I have it on my backlog schedule to try and jump into 8 this year and see what 8 is like, but I'm very excited to see that Doom 2016 Doom Eternal comparison between the two.
So like the higher ups and the Resident Evil people that made 7, whenever it got released, they were looking at the end of product and they were like, "There's nothing that I want to fuck in this." So like,
Yeah, hence 8.
No, they
I
fucked
wouldn't
up
want to
in
get
8 though with that.
I wouldn't want to get stepped on by any of these people.
Are you talking about the sexualization of Lady Dimitrescu?
yeah, or her 3 goth daughters, dude. Oh my,
Yeah,
I'm talking about them.
I
Those
mean,
dirty
We're ta-
motherfuckers.
we're talking about unicorn overlord levels of horniness that was in that game.
Oh, like the witch, dude? Come on. They knew what they were doing with the witch.
Dude.
Listeners, just look up Unicorn Overlord Witch. I'm pretty sure that should
I think
pull
her
it up.
name's Yana.
Do it in a
Hold on.
Her name's
Google
Yana. It's
Google incognito mode.
I need to see this.
Yeah, there we go.
Mhm.
Look up a GIF.
We have to
Don't
look
just
up
look up
the
a
same-
picture.
Oh
same thing
shit! My
together.
keyboard died.
Now
Yeah,
it
make sure
says
you get a
witch.
Oh my. Oh my.
It's Thrak's turn, right?
I mean,
I
we
don't
can.
know. We're doing
Well,
like a
sure.
star pattern for me.
Yeah.
Fucking star pattern.
Before we get to that though, like, do you guys, as far as like horror games go, do you guys find that like first person horror games are way scarier than third person? Because I kind of feel
Oh
like,
yeah.
I think
I kinda feel
so.
like-
I would argue against it because the first person perspective is a lot narrower than a third person perspective. So a lot of times in first person games, I will not be looking in the right direction when a scary thing happens. But in third person games, there's a lot more real estate because the camera's so much
that's
more
true.
wide, and especially in games that are like fixed cameras, because like
Mhm.
now you're literally staring at exactly what the person wants you to be looking at.
Yeah.
Like Signalis. Here I go plugging
Yeah.
Signalis again.
I mean,
but with first person ones, they can like put the horror like right in your fucking face. You know what I mean? So you can get more of the screen, especially for like jump scares and all that.
yeah,
Like
it's
first person
it's
works
like
really
the
well
intensity.
for that. Oh
You know
yeah,
what would be
it could
really
way
scary?
more
intensity is a good
intense.
word
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
You know, it would be really scary in a third-person game, and then something gets in your face anyway, in between you and your character. Like
That would
something
be crazy.
crawls
Like
on the screen.
like
Why hasn't something
camera
done that yet?
breaking, fourth
I like
wall
that.
breaking.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
That'd be good
I-
for like a Silent Hill game.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
like in
Or like
terms of
Fatal Frame.
yeah, we talk about
Ooh,
like
yeah. Oh,
the
yeah.
first
That's probably-
person versus third person.
Well, Fatal Frame
comparison.
kind of does that.
Yeah.
Or
Like
at
with
least
your
what
camera mode kind of.
Oh, Fatal
Yeah,
Frame is
'cause-
both.
Because
Because it's
Fatal
like
Frame, because what I like is it forces you to go to first person to confront like the spooky thing.
that's my problem with it
You
though,
know?
is that
That's
it
what I
stops
like
being
about it.
scary immediately for me because I'm like, oh, this is like Time Crisis. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna get a high score.
Yeah.
I mean, the ghouls can be kind of goofy in Fatal Frame, but you know.
I just think that it's so important to kind of like build the atmosphere and like build the sound design around whatever you're going to do, whether it's third person or first person. And we've all played horror games or games that are attempting to be horror that just have absolutely just idiots that are in the sound room. So it's like, it really just, it depends on how you want to design that whole system. Like I just played Still Wakes the Deep and a lot of people bounced off of it and they were like, it wasn't that scary. I played it with headphones on, ratcheted it all the way up, and the 3D audio was actually really good in that
Oh
game.
my God,
they did a
dude,
great
that's
job
cool.
building atmosphere.
It just seemed it would be a dream job to be like the guys come in from the fucking queue and they're like, hey, some guy's gonna push his hand into someone's stomach and pull their intestines out and squish it in their hands. I need you to make that noise. And you're like, okay, I got a watermelon, I got Jello. I'm just
got
gonna
my
disc the
spaghetti right here.
watermelon for
You
want
to be a sound Foley, is what you want to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
That
Makes
sounds
sense.
perverted.
yeah.
Foley artists are still a thing.
I heard they're on DeviantArt. Whose turn is it?
Speaking of DeviantArt, it's Thrak.
Well, actually, the game I'm going to pick does kind of fit in DVR. Bayonetta 2.
Oh,
Here we go.
fuck.
Yes.
God damn it. Why didn't
So-
I pick
That's
this?
a good one.
That's
So
such a good fucking pick, dude.
I've played all 3 Bayonettas, so I'm a bit of a fan. But I gotta say, of all 3, I think Bayonetta 2 is the most consistent as far as like an action game experience goes. Like Bayonetta 1, I really like a lot, but I think it has some like kind of difficulty spike stuff near the end of the game that kind of puts it out for me, and also the story gets a little bit convoluted in that game. And
Yeah.
Bayonetta 3 is a little too all over the place, I think, for what it's trying to do. But I think Bayonetta 2 finds like a nice middle ground, and it's just like a streamlined 8-hour, just like, they step on the gas and you just fucking go. And then like 8 hours later you're done. You're like, holy fuck, that was awesome.
It's like the Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah, or Doom Eternal,
Yeah,
and
there
how
we
that
go.
game just kind of fucking hits the gas almost immediately. But yeah, Bayonetta 2, that's the one I go back and play the most because I think it's the most fun to play. Like it tightens up the combo system. It makes it a little bit more, friendly for somebody like me who maybe isn't hugely experienced in action games, but still wants to have that flashy experience, and Bayonetta 2 does a great job of that. And it's my favorite design of the character. The short hair and all that. Like that's my Bayonetta. That's what I like. So great game.
And the weapons are all so fucking sick too.
Oh yeah, and
Like
and
that
I love
rose
the
whip thing, and
yeah, and I love like the blue hue the game has, because
Yep.
they all kind of have like a color theme to them. So
Like the Matrix.
Yeah, exactly. So
like the siding on my even more mobile home.
I give it blue Bayonetta siding.
Oh god damn it, that'd be cool.
Imagine a mobile home walking like Bayonetta does.
Imagine
had,
like
like-
a mobile skyscraper.
We had like the Xbox 360 and the face plates that you could just take
Yeah.
off the wall and then put a new.
Now we're talking.
I want the Gears of War one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2 is such a good fucking pick. It's it balls to the wall fucking so
It-
many great battles.
It
throughout
may
the
be my
entire game.
favorite Platinum game. Like it's a bit of a toss up because there's Astral Chain.
Oh, Astral Chain. Yeah,
Astral- yeah,
Vanquish.
Dude, oh fucking love.
You like it even
Vanquish.
more than Babylon's Fall?
I never played.
I've
Babylon.
never played it
I didn't
before.
play Babylon's Fall.
Well,
That's
you
okay,
can't.
no one
'cause
did.
Well,
they
it didn't
took
come
back.
to If it came to Xbox, I would have tried it, but
If it came to Game Pass, you mean?
no Xbox. I would have gave Platinum money.
I mean, Hideki.
Maybe not for this one.
What's his name? Hideki Kamiya. He's
Kamiya.
kind of a toxic
to get.
bastard, though.
Well, he's not there
Hideki
anymore.
Kamiya.
He left.
Yo, have you seen
Oh, he
the? Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
leave.
he
but
left. He left Platinum.
Have you seen the fucking? There's a YouTube video where someone was trying to figure out how many people he had blocked because he reached the limit.
Yeah.
And like, there's a YouTube video where someone
Yeah.
went to a con and asked him in real life, and he just showed him. It's pretty cool. to see.
Yeah, that's
He is an
incredible.
amazing person.
I think there was one that was like, didn't he block somebody that was like, Hideki Kamiya, I love all of your games. You're
He
incredible.
blocks you
And
if
then he
you just-
blocked. Yeah,
If you speak in English, if you speak in anything but Japanese, he'll just block you immediately.
yeah.
Good for
That's
him.
what-
he
specifically English.
he never blocked me though.
I never tweeted at him. I'm too
I
scared.
tweeted at him. I've tweeted at him
who's-
multiple times.
The most interesting person you're blocked by on Twitter.
Can you look at that easily?
No, you
I don't know
just
that
have
I
to
am.
know that
Am I-
you've
You have
been
to
blocked.
know.
Am I
I've
blocked
tweeted
by
at
Jason
Pitbull
Schreier
multiple
yet?
times.
I
As
was
Pitbull hasn't blocked me yet.
All I know is I've been blocked by one person, and that was when Koichi Sugiyama died, the composer of Dragon Quest. And this one person was being like very dismissive about the other things about Sugiyama, that stuff. And I was being, getting mad that people were bringing it up when he died. When it's like, we should just focus on the music, and it's like, well, that stuff is important, but this
Yeah.
other aspect was he made it public. So I figured if he made it public, we're allowed to comment on it.
What
you
did
know?
he do?
He was one of the Nanjing massacre deniers, a bit of a fan of the imperialist Japan during World War
Oh,
II. That whole
Bummer.
But who isn't?
you can look into all that, and like a lot of older Japanese people, not a
Sure.
big fan of the gays. So
Yeah.
it's a whole thing.
Great
I am-
musician, culturally not necessarily the vibe of a lot of people who would have liked his
Yeah.
music. So
I am blocked
Yeah.
by Republican Senator Ted Cruz.
nice. That's a good
Hell yeah,
one.
you are.
Man,
Hell yeah,
That's
you
God,
a
are.
real good one.
Now I'm jealous.
Mine is
Yeah,
William
that's-
Shatner. Shatner blocked me because
Shatner blocks people a lot.
He
doesn't
does.
he?
Well, that's because he's
Did
a
you ask him about
misogynistic
Red Letter
prick,
Media?
So
I thought you asked him
uh,
about Red Letter Media.
no, he was being misogynistic, and I said something about it, and he started calling me like sport and champ and stuff, and then eventually blocked
Did he
me.
use a lot of emojis?
I don't remember.
I think he wanted to fuck.
How do
I
you
think he
how do you
did.
see who you're blocked by?
I don't know. I made that up. I thought it was a funny one.
Wow, stolen valor over
I'm
here.
gonna see if you can. Check.
I don't know how to look.
I don't think you can. I think it's just if you go to their page and it's not there.
I'm not going
I
to
didn't
everybody's page.
Google
That's
everyone
crazy.
I've ever been mean to on Twitter.
I don't know what to pick for my next one. I'm gonna go fuck it, Steamworld Dig 2. Holy shit.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah, Kirby.
I was just gonna say go for like Kirby and the Forgotten Land or something.
I know.
Aaron, you
Poggers.
actually talked about Steamworld Dig 2 in the first sequels episode. I listened to it earlier today to check what
Did I
was talked about.
fucking really?
But you talked about it in saying, I'm not going to pick Steamworld Dig 2 because I talk about it all the time. So I think you're in the clear.
Okay,
2 years
cool.
later.
Fuck, I should have
Look where
picked
we are
Kirby in
now.
the Forgotten Land because that fucking game is perfect, dude.
No,
No,
you lose your
see-
turn now.
I would argue that Kirby and the Forgotten Land's not a sequel. Like, it's just the next.
Really?
It's another Kirby game, but is it a
It's
sequel?
Yeah,
obviously a sequel
but I
to
mean, you
Super
could say
Mario
the same
Odyssey.
thing about Mario. And none of them are.
Yeah.
So Steamworld Dig 2, right? So the first Steamworld Dig is just like yeah, it's a little bit of the same. It's just, Metroidvania, you dig, you mine shit, turn that shit in for upgrades. There's water turns into steam when it gets hot. Steamworld Dig.
Does it have a steampunk aesthetic?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Fuck
every
yeah.
character
You don't
is
know
like
the Steamworld games, Nick?
I have no idea. I have
Oh
no
my
idea.
god, they're great.
dude. That's on Game Pass. First, Steamworld Dig 1 and 2
No
are on
way.
Game Pass. Steamworld Heist, which is like the greatest strategy RPG ever. I don't
It's
fucking give a
XCOM,
shit.
but it's a side scroller. It's great.
Exactly. Steamworld Heist 2 is coming out next month. Anyway, so yeah, Steamworld Dig 2. It's it picks up, I forget how long after the first Steamworld Dig. Basically the main character Rusty from the first Steamworld Dig, he goes missing because he finds this like alien technology. You find him eventually in Steamworld Dig 2, and all sorts of shit happens, but the hub area is just way fucking bigger. There's way more you can do, way more you can upgrade. There's more exploration basically than there was in the first Steamworld Dig. Like you can do way more. It's a Metroidvania, but like instead of going like say Metroid where you're just running through place to place blasting, or like Castlevania where you're hopping and slashing and shit like that, Steamworld Dig is instead like you're half of the game is you like digging and mining and shit, and you can like wall hop. Of course, you jump, and you've got all sorts of other upgrades. Like you can get a drill, so you can dig faster. You can get a double jump. You can get a jetpack, so you can explore, or so you can reach platforms that are further apart, shit like that. And then while you're down there mining, you'll collect minerals and gems and shit. You'll turn that in when you go back to the hub area on the surface, and use that to buy more upgrades. You can get better pickaxes and all sorts of other shit as well. It's really fun. The music's really good.
Play Steamworld Dig 2.
It's on Game
I've always wanted to play it.
So in terms of like the gameplay, obviously I know you said that there are times where you're going in, you find a site and you go dig down and you're mining for gems or whatever the hell down there. And then like I'm looking at screen captures and stuff, or just like I'm looking at like the Google image loadout, and like do they have like different like levels that you can play like after that, where
There's
it's some type
areas.
of progression system? Okay.
Yeah.
Like
It's like a
arenas that
Metroid
you
game
fight
where
in?
you make the paths that get you to the
Mhm.
different areas.
Oh,
And
interesting.
there's like
So
different
it's like
biomes
procedurally
too.
generated.
I think the first one, no. I don't think it's procedurally generated. I think, yeah, there's biomes and there are specific like landmarks within the biomes, but there's not like a hallway you're going down to find that area. You are just digging and you come across areas.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Nice.
This is really cool. It's like both the first game and the second game are really cool, but this is a good one for sequels because this is one there's no reason to play the first now that the second exists. Like, it does everything the first does better. There is like nothing about the first game that is better than the sequel.
Hell yeah. And hopefully they do the same with Steamworld Heist too. Like, I don't
I'm so excited.
I mean, yeah, they added that ship combat shit that looks really cool. I mean, yeah, both Steamworld Dig 1 and 2 are on Game Pass, so fucking check them out because they're good.
I just might.
Hell yeah.
I need to talk to you about a video game released for the Xbox 360 starring Chow Yun-fat called Stranglehold, which is a sequel to Hard Boiled, a movie starring Chow
Does
Yun-fat.
that count?
It's a sequel. It's a video game, and it's a sequel, and it lets you shoot people in the nuts really, really, really well.
I would have picked Ghostbusters, the video game, then. If I doing it.
No, that's totally Ghostbusters, the video game, totally a sequel. Yeah, that's a sequel.
It is Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah, absolutely. That's totally valid. If you were just like Ghostbusters on the NES, not a sequel. But Ghostbusters, the video game, sequel. Stranglehold's a third-person action shooter game set in Hong Kong where you're playing a cop, I don't know, killing a lot of people. There's probably like a mystery or investigating or something like that. But mostly it's a game where you can run around and do dives like Max Payne style, kind of, except when you shoot people in the nuts, the camera slows down and zooms in on your bullet and shows their balls exploding. And that's what video games should always be.
Sniper Elite.
Yeah, this I was gonna say Sniper Elite it's Stranglehold and Sniper Elite are the two champions of video game nutshots. But I don't think in Sniper Elite you can jump into the air, grind on a rail like you're Tony Hawk wearing soap shoes, and shoot a guy in the nuts while you do so. So I think I'd give the edge to Stranglehold.
I've never played Sniper Elite, so I can't say. Personally, I prefer the Max Payne games. I mean, that's obviously what they're co-oping, but it makes sense to go for that because I think Max Payne itself was inspired by the John Woo movies. And it's cool that John Woo is actually involved in this, and Chow Yun-fat, they got him back as well, so which is really cool. And I believe, weren't there like special editions of this that came with a copy of Hard Boiled?
I think so. I'll be honest, I never actually seen Hard Boiled. I just like this video game a lot.
Dude, Hard Boiled, bro, you need to watch Hard Boiled. It is.
How many nutshots are there in it?
I didn't count, but there's a lot of there's a great scene that's like in a hospital, and it's all just like one continuous shot. So it goes for like 5 minutes. There's the scene in the warehouse with all the dudes on the bikes. Like, it's fucking Gung Fu. Fu is what it was called. Fucking incredible. It's an amazing movie, and the game is fine. Like, it's not a bad.
It's not great, but it's so much fun.
I'm glad I finally played it. Like, I finally got to experience it. And do you know who made it?
I don't, off the top of my head.
Camelot.
Midway.
Oh, right. It was Midway, yeah.
Yep. This was part of like Midway trying to, being like, we have more than just Mortal Kombat, guys.
Midway's sad death rattle of like, no, we're good. We make games. Oh.
Yeah. Well, they had Mortal Kombat, but you can only ride that for so long.
Mm-hmm. Don't they make Rush San Francisco?
Rush.
They should have kept making those.
It's called back to an older game or older episode.
It is game. Midway. Okay. Yeah. All right.
If it's on the N64, it's probably Nintendo, Activision, or Midway. Like, it's one of those three.
Acclaim.
Rare only had like 3, didn't they?
On N64?
Oh no, I guess they did the. Okay, yeah. Never mind.
They did like everything.
Yeah.
If you're thinking GameCube, it was like 2,
including the best sequel, Star Fox Adventures.
That's
the one on Dinosaur Planet, right?
That is.
Yes. It's no Star Fox Assault.
I just wanted to fuck that fox girl.
Everybody does, dude.
Invite her back to your mini mobile home.
Yeah.
If we can find it. Wait.
The fucking Star Fox, like, tanks and shit, didn't they walk?
It turns into an R-Wing and just starts flying.
All right, Dave, what's your next game?
Rock Band 3. You knew it was coming.
Rock
We're
Yep.
Band
talking about
3.
Rock Band 3. Rock Band 3 was the peak because of the Rock Band Network, where they relinquished making music that you can license and put onto the game to the actual bands and stuff, like the band's labels. So that's how we got Seether and like Asking Alexandria. We got a Meshuggah song. We got all kinds of crazy shit. We got a fucking Tobuscus song. Like fucking, I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's kind of crazy now, but fuck, dude. I was loving life back in the day playing Rock Band 3. This is whenever they added the pro guitar, the pro drums with the cymbals. They added the keyboard nobody used. The pro guitar sucked. It was worthless. But
What was the
I
pro
had
guitar?
there was okay. Now hear me out. This is a boomer ass thing that they invented, but it is a plastic guitar with a button for every fret down the guitar for every string.
Yeah,
So there was
I remember
Whoa.
seeing this.
like 300 buttons, and it didn't
Jesus.
work because
because
you could- there's no texture. You can't tell where your fingers are on the fucking thing.
Oh,
So
man.
and then on the screen, obviously, you know, everyone knows what the Guitar Hero and Rock Band like highways look like. That you're playing the charts where you're playing the music. There's nowhere near enough information for you to be, like display everything you need to
Yeah.
know. So it's like G chord, and then it's like a weird. People just need to look this up. What pro guitar looks like on YouTube, but like it will be just like a fucking blob, like on the screen, rather than notes to be pushed down. And then if it's just singular notes, it's not such a big deal. But normally it's like a fucking bunch of chords and it's terrible. So it barely worked.
You
by
can get a pro
Rocksmith.
guitar on eBay for $40 right now. I think
Yeah.
that's less than the regular guitars.
Well,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
because those only work on Rock Band 3. Whereas the Rock Band 3 guitars, you can get an adapter and play them on Rock Band 4.
You
Yeah,
can't
but
get
that
an adapter,
adapter's like
unfortunately.
$800.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Hypothetically
absurd.
speaking.
Fucking dongle. Yeah. Wasn't Rock Band 3? This was the era where wasn't Rock Band trying to be like, oh, let's actually make this more of like a teaching tool, because
Yeah.
like that keyboard also like had like MIDI functions, and you could do pro
Yeah.
keyboard, which is just
I
essentially
want
just
that
play
keyboard
the
so bad.
you could just play the fucking
The
song.
real keyboard, which is
yeah,
insane.
which it's weird. It's like that's kind of where like Rocksmith comes into play.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Rocksmith is I've messed with Rocksmith. It's actually like pretty good for what it is, but it's niche, because it's like if you want to learn guitar, just get a fucking guitar and figure it out, kid. You don't need to like buy a video game.
Well, that's what
You know?
Rocksmith is like you need a real guitar to play it. But
Yeah.
I always tell people to get if you have Steam, just get Rocksmith 2024 or 2014. I don't know if they still sell it, honestly, but like get that and the cable, and it is an amazing just amp. Like you just get like a million different amps, and you can just fuck with it. Like just put all kinds of different cabinets and stuff together. That's what I would do. Is I would just fucking play guitar on my Xbox. Like,
Can you play
it
a
was really fun.
sousaphone though?
If it plugs into an amp, you can play whatever you want. Actually, you can play
I'll
a
figure it out.
ukulele.
Electric sousaphone,
I'll figure that out on my own time.
electric triangle, baby.
Throw a
Looking-
kazoo up in that bitch.
At footage of this
Electric
pro
kazoo.
guitar highway, and it is inscrutable.
It's terrible.
Whoa.
It's like learning fucking hieroglyphics, but the hieroglyphics went through Google Translate for Latin first.
It would probably be easier to just learn guitar.
Yeah.
It is infinitely easier.
Nick.
Okay. I've been thinking about this one. I've been thinking about what I was going to pick, and I was going to be like, do I pull a game that my co-host Will from the Friday Night Gamecast is going to be proud of me, or do I just go hard right? But I think I'm gonna
Hard
stay
right.
true. I'm gonna stay true.
Go full Alex Jones.
I could go full Alex. I
Yes.
don't know. Maybe not. I don't know if I have that energy.
They're coming. They're
He's-
gonna
That's
take
me.
everything.
They're
They're gonna
making
get
the
us.
more mobile homes.
They're
game.
killing everybody.
I like
but-
women, not
But
men.
speaking of killing everybody,
Have you
Titanfall
guys seen
2.
the fucking Doom Eternal with Alex Jones'
Titanfall
voice
2.
over it?
I never sucked any ding dongs. These are actual quotes from him. By the way.
Oh, man.
Oh,
yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Titanfall 2.
Oh,
nice.
yes.
One of the coolest.
Yes.
I mean, one of the most
who the fuck
acclaimed
cares about Titanfall 1?
first person shit. Yeah, like I don't even know what happened to that game. I don't
It's
know what it was.
multiplayer
Nothing
only.
happened.
Who
It's only
cares?
multiplayer.
It's only
Yeah,
multiplayer, and
so-
the
so-
servers
so
are shut
nobody
down because
cares
EA
about that.
sucks.
But goddamn, the campaign mode for Titanfall 2 is just incredible. How dare Respawn be the first ones to actually make you care about a big fucking mech and have like an emotional connection to that thing? But they
My
managed
mini
to pull it
mobile
off.
home.
God damn it! I was about to say
Not
that.
they
the
got
game.
you. They got you. That it was it's just a Titan. Yeah, exactly. But I think Titanfall 2 also was one of the first games to like truly do what you see a lot now in a lot of modern games with the power of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, where they switch worlds at random. It's like the same world but back in time. But Titanfall 2 was the first game to do that, and they do it really well in that game. Like they implement like puzzle elements to it. It's like, I don't know, it's just like describing the arenas when you're actually outside of the Titan and you're wall running and you're zipping around and slingshotting yourself through like the various levels. It's like a third person or like a first person multi-dimensional action puzzle shooter.
Yeah.
Like it's an incredible game. And if anybody hasn't played this game, you owe it to yourself to go back and play that one. It's 100% a must play on the backlog.
And it's like a 6-hour campaign. It
It's
goes on
perfect.
sale
I've
all
only
the
played the
time.
first game. The
Yeah.
first game was
Oh, man.
already
It is-
fucking tits.
It is literally like, I think it is the best designed first person shooter campaign. Like,
Yeah.
It's
is
one of the
so
best.
good.
It is. It's one of the best. It's not my favorite shooter campaign of all time because I think some have better stories.
Right.
But Titanfall 2 just has such an incredible pacing to it. And what I love is that it's able to have two completely different styles of first person shooting.
Yeah.
Because there's when you're on the ground as a human, and then when you
Oh,
climb into the
yeah.
Titan, and they both feel completely different, but they're both just as satisfying.
They feel good.
that-
And I've never
it's
played
so amazing.
yeah. I've never played a Titan or a mech game, even today. I mean, I don't know, Nave, you probably played more mech games than I have at this point, but like the playing as a Titan in that mode, even when you're in the big arenas fighting the other ones, nothing really matches up to that. I don't know. What do you think?
Whoa, baby, I got a game for you. It's called Metal Wolf Chaos XD, made by the guys that made Dark Souls.
It's called Custom Robo.
I'm not
Wolf
joking.
Chaos
Yeah.
XD. It's
Yeah.
not like Gundam Build Fighters that you guys covered on Gaming Together. a while
But there's a
back.
good Gundam game.
There's a couple good ones, but
I don't believe you.
the Metal Wolf Chaos XD, please.
It's published by Devolver?
Yeah,
What?
dude.
What?
Hell
Yeah, I've heard of that game.
Metal
yeah.
Wolf.
And it's
Chaos
great because
XC.
it's all about the vice president usurping power in America and throwing out the regular
Oh,
president.
yeah.
You play as the regular
Hell yeah.
president, and you get in a mech and you fight the vice president in another mech. And
That
it's
sounds
so good.
awesome.
You'd swear
When
it's
the
made
fuck
by
is Joe
Kojima.
Biden getting in his mech? That's what I want to fucking know.
Sleepy Joe in the mech.
He needs-
Sleepy Joe, give that
He's gonna
man a
have to
mech.
put the map quest in there so that whenever he takes his nap,
This looks awesome.
I'm telling
this
you guys,
this looks
please.
fucking sick. Holy shit!
Yeah, that game
Wasn't
is
that on the
pretty
original
sick.
Xbox
It's-
back in the day?
Yeah, it looks like
Isn't
XD
it-
is a
I think it's-
remaster for PS4 era.
I'm gonna grab it on Steam.
Yeah, I think it was like
That's
Japan
fucking not on
only,
sale right
wasn't
now.
it?
Damn.
Go support
not?
Devolver. Go buy Metal Wolf Chaos.
Oh, it's on.
XD.
It's on. It's $24.99 on Steam.
How much
Fuck
is it on
yeah.
Xbox right now? There's a super big ass sale going on.
I didn't see it in there.
That's a deep pull. I don't know if anybody's can do it, but
Let me
like
pause
playing
my
as a
power
mech
wash
in that
and check.
game, you would say it's pretty good, Nave.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's just okay. It's just a fucking meme. Okay. All right. There we go.
It's a crazy game.
Yeah.
From the perspective of someone who's only ever played the first Titanfall, I know exactly what you mean.
Software.
I'm telling you,
Like-
dude. That,
Yeah, this was like From's like their pre-Souls period where they were just making a lot of
It's like
weird shit.
Kingsfield.
That is post Kingsfield.
Thrak, I think it's your pick, isn't it?
Crap. I wasn't thinking.
Do you want me to go so you can buy some time?
Damn it,
Kingsfield,
Thrak,
dude.
your
Nope, I got
goddamn
it.
power
Got it.
washing.
I got it. Okay, I'm gonna pick Professor Layton and
Uh-huh.
the Unwound Future.
Hell yeah.
I was literally
Professor
listening.
Layton.
I love Professor Layton, big Professor Layton fan. I 100%ed all 6 mainline games because I'm a freak. And Unwound Future is my favorite of the bunch. So it's the end of the original trilogy, which is the first 3 games, and yeah, basically finishes out the story with Layton, and he has his I think it was his girlfriend or something. It's been a while since I played the game, but it introduces time travel, and it's just
Yep.
like further refining the logic puzzles. and just it does a good job of rounding out the trilogy. So like it pulls you in. It's not good if you haven't played any of them. Like if you haven't played any of them, play Diabolical Box. Like that's the one to
that one
play because it
fucks.
has an amazing story and the puzzles are genuinely really good, and it just stands as like a solid title on its own. But Unwound Future was the one I enjoyed the most because just that Layton formula of a point and click adventure with logic puzzles, just it just ticks something in my brain. So
Yeah,
I love it, and I look forward to the next one. Was it New World of Steam? Whenever that's coming out,
something like that.
it'll be curious because they have a new puzzle master. It's like a set of people. So, but yeah, Unbound Future, fantastic. It has weird time travel, convoluted stuff in there, but I don't fully remember it, so I'm not going to get into it.
Hell yeah.
And they've always got cool little mini games too. Like
Yeah,
I think it was Diabolical Box where you can make different kinds of tea with different ingredients.
yeah, yes,
Or
yes.
I think
Is this
Unwound
Professor
Future
Layton on the DS? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
you.
yeah. The first
and
4 are
mobile
on the
phones too.
DS. The next 2 are on the 3DS, and then there's the one starring his daughter that's on 3DS. It's on Switch as well, but people tend not to like that one. But I haven't played it yet. Then there's the Phoenix Wright crossover, which is stuck on the 3DS
Yeah.
as well. It's a shame because it's a really cool series, but yeah, it's kind of like stuck on the DS because it was just perfectly made for that console. Like the first 3 are on mobile devices, so if you want to see them with like HD cutscenes, in fact, I think they were gonna do the first 3 on Switch, but they said they were going to, and then they just never did.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
bullshit.
don't, yeah, but hopefully this new one will spark some life back into the series. Maybe they'll do something with the old ones.
That'd be cool. My last one, I'm gonna go with an oldie but a goodie. I'm gonna do Trials of Mana. It's goddamn. I
Is
love
that
Secret of
that's
Topical.
not the PS1 one, is it?
I think
No,
Philip
that's
just played that
Legend.
this year, didn't he?
Trials.
He played one of them.
He
Yeah.
played something Mana.
Trials is
Visions of
the,
Mana is coming out this year, right?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
Visions.
It's
Yep.
the new one.
Then
yeah.
he played Trials. Yeah, he played the
Yeah,
he played the ones you're talking about.
Trials is it was Japan only for the longest time on Super Famicom, but with the collection of Mana, it's now available in English. Plus, there's the remake that came out I think in 2020.
That's
But
right. That's right.
yeah, both versions are good. Honestly, the SNES now version and the remake, but I'm gonna go with the Super Famicom version. But it's fucking awesome, man. So Secret of Mana, already awesome. Visuals are great. Great soundtrack. Except for the AI. The AI fucking sucks because they get stuck on walls and like hedge mazes and shit. But Trials of Mana, you can pick from like you can build your party of I think it's like 3 out of 6 characters, I believe. There's the healer, the mage, the dragoon, or like the spear fighter lady, the sword fighter guy, the martial artist slash werewolf. There's all sorts of crazy ass characters, and then yeah, so you build your perfect team of your favorite characters, and later on in the game, you can upgrade them into a different class, or you can pick from like one of 2 classes from like light and dark styles. So like, what is it? The healer chick can either be like a sage who's like full on healing, or you can be like a summoner, like they can summon these little monsters to fight for you and also do healing. Um, the AI doesn't suck balls, which is cool. That they actually follow you and don't get stuck on walls, and that's really really cool.
Unless you want your balls sucked, which
That's
is
true. Then go back to the previous game because they'll do that. Much like,
That's the secret of Mana.
that's right. And, yeah, I mean, and then there's this cool day and night cycle that you'll constantly see going in Trials of Mana, which is like insane for an SNES game because not many games did that. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different elements that are affected by that. Like one of the main characters I mentioned, the martial artist werewolf guy, at night he becomes a werewolf, so he's stronger. He can take more hits without dying. There's enemies will also have different forms at night. Or no, there's different enemies that'll appear at night. There's also like you can go to a black market that only comes out at night and buy rarer items and weapons and shit like that. That's not available during the day. Yeah, man, it's just
Are Are the mana games standalone? Like, is this one where you can jump in at this one, or?
Yeah, you can play any of them
Okay.
without having to play the previous ones.
Are they all
think-
connected though? Like, are they in the same universe?
Pretty much, yeah. They use like the same concepts and ideas and shit. I don't know if there's like a timeline for the games or anything like that, but it's a sequel though, I think.
Okay. Because I've barely played the Mana series, and I've always really wanted to like give them a try because they look like games I would enjoy. I have, I think, I have sort of Mana on the GBA, and I feel like that's the one I should start with because it's like a remake of the original.
That's a remake of the first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the one with the big dog snake that you get to ride.
The big dog
That
snake.
sounds cool.
What?
That's the new one.
Cool.
Did you see the dog snake? What is it? Mana dog snake. Am
Visions
I high?
of Mana?
I took an edible when I watched the Xbox showcase, so maybe I'm insane.
Well, because when Visions of Mana was in I think it was in the developer direct, and that game looked fucking gorgeous. Like it looked.
Well, now I'm watching a video on Reddit of a dog killing a snake. So that's not what I wanted.
I'm watching the same. Is it a black lab?
Wow.
Well, sorry I exposed you to that. I didn't.
If you search Mana Dog Snake, you'll get to see a black lab just really taking on a snake.
Let me check this
He
out.
wins. He's a good boy, I guess.
Oh god.
Fuck, man. Not a lot of these games are on Xbox though. It looks like the first 3 games are for sure on Switch. I don't know.
Yeah,
about,
there's a collection of Mana on the Switch.
Yeah.
You fucking threw that thing. Holy shit.
Here, hold on. I'll put
collection of Mana
it.
is $15 on or $16 on the Switch right now.
That's a
on
fucking
sale.
steal.
I had Collection of Mana for a while, and I sampled everything, and it was really cool.
It's cool, man.
Here, how do I put things in the chat? Here,
It was done by M2, and M2 know what they're doing.
They do.
There's
they did
the
all
dog
those
that I'm talking
Sega Ages ports that are fucking awesome.
Yeah, because I did play a bit of the original Final Fantasy Adventure, and it was all right.
That's-
But you know, a lot of Game Boy games haven't aged the best.
Yeah.
So I figured like Sword of Mana,
Dragon
the
Dog.
proper GBA remake of that would be really cool.
Okay, so this is where I got confused. So the dog has scales like an armadillo. I just remembered the dog having scales, so I thought it was like a snake. But
I
it's
thought
like
you
an
were talking about the
armadillo
dog who was killing the snake still, and I was like, he has scales? I didn't get to that part.
He's
I
some
do like
hybrid
the design of
chimera.
this dog. He looks like a good boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Visions of Mana looks fantastic. Like
does
I think,
look fucking
I think it's
awesome.
in like the Dragon Quest XI engine. Like it has that kind of like color palette to it, you know, because Dragon Quest XI is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
So if it's just that, but like action combat, I'm in.
I think that, yeah, it's pretty much that it looks like.
So yeah. So if you Mana freaks play Visions and say it's great, I will buy it.
Those Mana freaks are outside, waiting for anyone to talk shit about them.
I don't go outside. What are you talking about?
You know what? While we begin to wrap this fucker up, I totally forgot to have anybody plug their shows at the beginning. So let's do a little bit of that. Troy, you went first. Go ahead and plug your show. Anything else? All that stuff.
Honorable mentions.
Sure. My show is called Turtle Power Presents Power Playthroughs Podcast with Turtle Power. It's an audio-only Let's Play podcast. It's like Twitch for your ears. Sometimes, in theory, I'm playing through Zelda Oracle of Ages right now, but those episodes are few and far between. But I do a lot of sampling of usually like indie games and stuff like that. So subscribe to that, and you'll hear me talk about weird games. And then
Spelled Troytle. Troy
Is Nine Souls the hype that everybody's
man.
been saying it is?
Nine Souls is great, and I don't like it because it's
Okay.
too hard. But it has
Okay.
some. I found out after I decided it was too hard that it has really nice accessibility features. So I'm going to go
Hell
make
yeah.
that game easier, and then I think I will love it because
Hell yeah.
it's beautiful. It's just very hard.
Okay.
I had to stop playing that game because it made me too hard. I don't know what we're talking about.
You're into some shit, is what you've just shared with us all.
DeviantArt.
That's what you've shared with the class.
It's Nave. We're not surprised.
And then I'm going to shout out Super Switch Club, which is a podcast that I'm like part of, but it's not my podcast. It's a book club style podcast where we play games that are on the Nintendo Switch Online service. And it's very fun. It's called Super Switch Club. Anybody can contribute.
Have you done Shining Force yet?
We have not done Shining Force. Shining Force was nominated in our Genesis season. We're currently in the bracket for our Super Nintendo season right now.
We are also streaming Zelda hold on, right? What is
Ocarina
it?
of Time.
Ocarina of Time, and we are in the Dongo's Cavern.
This is my son
Oh, yeah.
Atticus,
The
and
Dongo's
yes, he
Cavern.
and I have been
Nice.
streaming Ocarina of Time over on YouTube as well. So if you want to
Nice.
see
Awesome.
a
He's a
4.5-year-old try and figure out Ocarina of Time master mode, because
He's
just-
doing a better job than I ever did.
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have a friend, and what's his name again?
That's Aaron.
No. His name right there, up there.
What?
No, up there.
Oh, my friend Skelly was in the chat when we were playing. Is that what you're talking about? He's pointing to the camera, saying that that's where our friend is because we
Oh,
were talking
yeah.
to
Yeah,
Skelly.
his name is
Okay,
there.
I'm gonna let somebody else talk now. Okay. Okay. Thanks, bud.
All right, Dave, you got it now. The floor
Gaming
is
together,
yours.
a cooperative podcast. That's what I do. We're crazy. I try to annoy everyone that comes on, and so they never come back. But at least it's funny. Also, honorable mention to Nier Automata and Portal 2.
Oh,
I need to
Yeah,
play
Nier
Nier
Automata.
Automata.
Oh, it's so good.
yeah. Nick.
Okay, so I am one half of the Friday Night Gamecast. My other co-host, Will, he couldn't make it here tonight because he got eaten by his let's go more mobile homes, even more mobile homes. So,
Can't
but
get
but
out.
Share
no,
the McFlurry.
exactly. We're a podcast after Aaron's own heart. We're a topical variety podcast. We talk about like a lot of different topics. We reuse plenty of topics year over year, but we also have been doing a lot of focused video game reviews over the course of time. So really, whatever has been floating our boat, we just have the most recent review out for Tales of Kenzera Zhao. Incredible game, good Metroidvania platformer. And right before that, we did a wonderful show with Matt Stormageddon on Dragon's Dogma 2, and that was a really fun podcast
yeah.
that we got together to do. But anyway, so yeah, if you want to find us anywhere on any podcatcher, we are the Friday Night Gamecast, and if you want to reach out to me on Twitter, I manage our Twitter account, and it's at FNGC Pod.
I forgot to mention that Aaron's going to be on our show talking about. By the time this is out, our episode will be out already. What are we talking about?
Cassette
what's the fucking
Beasts?
name? Cassette
Yeah.
Beasts. Jesus,
Yeah.
I'll never remember that name.
It's awesome. Thrak.
Well, I am the co-host of the 3DO Experience. Me and my buddy Bill, we talk about the 3DO. So we just focus on the console, the games, the company, all the weird stuff that surrounds it. There's an episode out with Aaron where we're talking about a game called Tripped, which is a wacky. It's a wacky puzzle game, so you should check that out. And hopefully by this point we'll be at episode 50, which we plan on for episode 50 doing a tier list of all the games that we've played already to kind of review and see which ones are actually good. There's a few of them. So yeah, just go check that out wherever you're listening to this.
Am I invited? I don't even know what a 3DO looks like.
We'll get you on
I don't
eventually.
know.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll have my people talk to your people.
Yeah,
Talking about
yeah.
battle tanks. For
I'll
the
have my
Nintendo
mobile
64.
home talk to your
Quest
mobile
is
home.
coming on for that. So my nemesis apparently.
Quest 64, man.
Apparently we're rivals now.
There you have it, listeners. Yeah, so Superpod Saga, of course, you're listening to it. You know where it is, superpodnetwork.com. Check it out. Blogs, episodes, podcasts, Patreons,
Ads?
Ko-Fi. Yes, ads soon, I think. Google AdSense is confusing as shit. Ads.txt, like...
You should have a tab where all of the fake ads go, and just clip out all the fake ads. And
Yeah,
just,
we need to make like the fake ads.
We
you
should
know?
do that, like design logos and like actual sponsor profiles for them.
It'd be great.
I'm the logo guy. I
you
actually I
go.
don't know how to make logos. I can put things other people have made together shittily.
We need to fucking do that. We'll do like an archive of all the different sponsors and shit. That'll be awesome. What do I usually do? Oh yeah, listeners, leave a rating / review wherever you're listening to this guy. Support the show on Patreon, $2 or $4 a month. I really appreciate it. I love you. Everybody, say bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Nick. Bye-bye. Oh, see you. Bye.
Okay, bye.